9.
Uh-huh. Oh, you don't do seasons? No. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna ask what constitutes a season.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, well, you're gonna have a tough time putting it on Netflix now.
Oregano, rosemary, sage. These are all seasonings.
No, seasons.
Sorry, my bad.
So you could have said like fall,
You got
winter,
so then you
I was
got
gonna
the
be like, well, you're
solstices
gonna
and
have a tough time
equinox.
putting it on Netflix now.
Oregano, rosemary, sage. These are all seasonings.
Hello?
No, seasons.
Sorry.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
Who are the sponsors for this chapter? Oh, wait.
Who are the sponsors, and are they going to ask for money back?
Right.
I can't afford any more strikes than YouTube, so I'm going to have to ask you guys to stop using copyrighted material. All right, so I am now broadcasting, so everyone can being recorded. So welcome back, guys, and hopefully we'll get through this without too many more technical difficulties. Don't have Matt's camera just yet.
Oh, you want my camera? Okay. I was going to say, as glitchy as this start is, maybe it ought to be, sponsored by Bethesda or something.
So, do want to do a few administrative items before we get into the gaming. Get my notes up here. I have prepared. First thing I want to do, and we can talk a little bit about how this is all going to work, but I do want to implement a couple rules adjustments, and we can talk through them a bit. But the first one we've been kind of telegraphing, so it shouldn't come as too much of a shock. But we do want to allow consumption of a potion to be a bonus action. So this hopefully will make the potions a little bit more versatile. I'm going to couple that. Let me pause there for a second. No, actually, I'm going to couple that with the other rule that it's kind of a compatible.
Brad has to play with his mic off.
I'm sorry.
Is that your new rule?
Well, no, that's more of a house rule.
Okay.
But the other new rule I was going to implement is that a bonus action can be done in lieu of an action. So if you want to drink a potion and cast Misty Step, which are both bonus actions, you can choose to make one of those a full action, which means you lose your other action. But basically, this gives you a little bit more versatility. Drink a potion as a bonus action, 2 bonus actions in a round.
Got a clarification.
Okay.
But still only one spell, correct?
No, you can do 2 spells as long as one of them is a cantrip.
Okay. Or what about if it was a scroll?
That's not casting a spell, it's using it.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't actually know that using a scroll was using a magic item. Okay.
It's
So your cantrip is actually an action. Is a
No.
not a spell. Not
you can cast 2 spells in a round if one of them's a bonus action, one of them's an action, and one of those 2 cantrip.
okay.
Now, I'm going to clue you in. There are no cantrips that are bonus action.
Right.
So, your main action is going to be the cantrip, and the other spell that you cast would be a bonus action spell, Misty Step, Healing Word.
I will say, Howard, just to correct you, Hex is a bonus action.
Oh, well, thanks for that clarification.
So I'm hearing that I could use Hex and spell action in the same turn.
Yes.
Okay.
You
I'm just double checking.
Hex is your bonus action.
Hex is my bonus action, and then Eldritch Blast or something like that as the action.
Yes. You can cast
Okay.
2 spells in a round as long as one of them is
Groovy.
any more points of clarification or
Yeah, so we're all at that level now where we could do 2 attacks per action. So with the example of Eldritch Blast, I can still cast 2 Eldritch Blasts in an action, right?
So Eldritch Blast, you get multiple shots with one action, the same as you would Magic Missile.
so that's based
Right.
on
So you're still casting the spell once. That's your action. That one casting gets you some number of shots. I think that
based
that's
on
what
your
you're saying, but I'm making sure.
so casting a spell like Eldritch Blast, being that action, casting the spell itself may come with multiple results from it. Said magic missile, still only one action. That action.
Okay, and then the other thing, nobody mentioned it, but I've got those sorcery points where I can do a quicken spell,
Yes.
right? And if I spend 2 sorcery points, and then I can basically convert that bonus action into another attack, another spell cast. So whenever I spend 2 sorcery points, which I think I only have, I have to look, 3 or 4. I can technically do 4 Eldritch Blasts in one round.
So if you quicken Eldritch Blast, and you have to use points to do that,
2 sorcery points.
then it becomes a bonus action. Then you could also use regular action. Would be casting in one, assuming
Check.
So yeah, 4 shots total.
Do you get those back on a short rest or a long rest?
Long, I think. I'd have to look.
The sorcery points are long rest.
Okay,
Yeah.
just thinking ahead as far as tactically.
Yeah.
they're good questions. I'm glad we're getting them clarified. More questions about the rules adjustment. So similarly, and this is not related to casting a spell, I'm going to go through it. You have a bonus action. You want to do, say like you're a thief and you want to do your
Cunning action?
Want to do a cunning action. And you've already done different bonus act potion or you can choose to take that as an action. Choose to take a bonus action.
Seems to make sense.
So back to you could do 2 bonus actions in a turn. But you can't do, obviously, 2 actions in a turn.
No.
Unless you use 2 sorcery points.
Well, then it wouldn't be an
cast.
action. One of those would become a bonus. One of your spells would be cast at.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you would spend 2 sorcery points. Eldritch Blast becomes a bonus action. You fire off 2 shots. You still have your regular action. You cast Eldritch Blast again, fire off 2 more shots. And now you only have movement.
And a reaction.
Yes, that's true.
All right. More questions on that. All right. The other rules adjustment I want to make is a slight adjustment prone. So the way getting up from prone used to work would be have to use half your movement. But for characters that move less than 30 feet, characters that move more than 30 feet, different. I wanted to standardize it by saying that getting up from prone is no matter what. So if for some reason you are slowed and don't have 15, you're in difficult terrain, whatever the modification is, and you don't have 15, it's going to take. Conversely, if you're a barbarian with 40 feet of movement, it's not going to take you 20 to get up. It's only so getting up is always going to be 15 feet.
For some reason, I was thinking that was a whole turn. That took your turn. That was an action or whatever to.
No, it's part of your movement.
Okay, that's cool.
And if it ever comes up, if you choose to go pro, also. All right. So next, anything about that rule that I think that one's fairly straight. Next, I do want to do a little test. So I'm going to be doing audio. I'm going to be getting a narrator. Before I do that, I want to test to make sure that you're all receiving. Part of this test, I want you guys to pay attention to see if you're. Some of you use a speaker and a microphone from like a laptop. If this is too loud, you might hear it back and the other players might hear it. So I want to do this test for 2 reasons. One, I want to make sure you're all hearing it correctly. It's going to be coming through the interface. So if you look at the little thing, upper right hand corner, has your user volume. You could see different music environment. Narration audio is going to be coming through the. You need to adjust the volume down or up. Hear it clearly, but so that it's not feeding the microphone. Hearing it. Is that all clear? Any questions on that before I do the test?
Basically, you're going to do the test, and we're going to adjust our little controls in the under the music note to make it sound right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, here we go. Here's a little bit.
Sit down a moment and let me spin a yarn about a brave group of adventurers who just returned from the Moonwood. It starts with a plea from a harper. The adventurers were summoned to the...
All right, so Mike, you are still feeding back. I don't know if you caught that.
Didn't notice.
Yeah,
But,
so the way you can tell if you're feeding back is if your green box is lighting up around your face in Discord, like my green box is lit up right now because I'm talking. That means you're broadcasting. Audio that's coming through your speakers, activating your... So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I think that was the only reason I could actually hear it, because I couldn't hear it at all.
I couldn't hear it very well at all either.
Me either. It was
All right.
almost unaudible.
All right.
Inaudible.
So where do you have your interface volume set?
I think I moved mine up to like 100% just to see if I could hear it, and I still couldn't hear it.
This is why
Yeah, I had mine at 63, and I think I was hearing it through Mike's. I was hearing it through Mike's mic. Might be hearing it through Mike's mic.
All right. So,
Roger, over.
So I'm going to do the test again. Let's see if...
Roger.
Sit down a moment and let me spin a yarn about a brave group of adventurers who just returned from the Moonwood. It starts...
All right, so I was feeding back.
My control...
Yeah, so it looks like I'm doing the feedback now.
So Howard, I don't know about other people, but those controls under the music note, as I adjust them, are doing nothing to the volume.
Would that be a Forge thing? That would be a Discord thing.
No, it's Forge.
Yeah,
that's coming through on Forge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Forge. You know, on the upper right hand side, there's the music note there, the eighth note.
Okay.
If you click that, there's some user volume. Huh?
Oh yeah, the eighth note.
Well, anybody in music knows an eighth note. Come on.
Music nerd.
I thought you were talking about drugs.
I thought that was like a smaller bottle of whiskey, an eighth instead of a fifth. It's a traveler. So can you try that one more time for me, Howard? I did, my Forge had disconnected.
Okay.
So
I will try it here in a second.
Okay.
Does everyone else see the user volume controls? It should have music, environment, and interface. And interface is the one you should be adjusting. Right? The test a third time.
Sit down a moment and let me spin a yarn about a brave group of adventurers who just returned from the Moonwood. It starts with a plea.
Getting feedback a little bit from Jason there.
Could you hear it, Jason?
Yeah, I can kind of hear it. I've got the volume up. When I switch the volume bar on the interface, there's no change.
Really?
Would it be background or would it be one of those other categories?
No, it's interface, but here's what I can do.
I've tried all three.
Oh.
I can set it to play environmental.
Well, Jason's a tree hugger. He should like that.
I'm right.
Comes the environmental.
Sit down a moment and let me spin a yarn about a brave group of adventurers who just returned from the Moonwood.
Let me see if I'm
with a
getting
plea from a harper.
Because I may be getting
The
it through this other
adventurers were
speaker.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
So
I could hear it. It just wasn't very loud.
yeah, I mean that's what I'm getting too. And then, but So, Brad, do any of your controls make a difference? None of mine make a difference.
Well, I didn't try the music. But I have the other two at full.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're sounds like you're the same position I am. But when you move them up and down, if you were to move them from full to like 0, is there a difference? Like there's no difference.
I didn't try.
So
I got a feeling if you tried it, you wouldn't hear any difference.
The other thing.
Hey, Howard, can you put some music on or some environmental music on, something on, see if I can switch this around and see if it's my fault.
Something new agey.
Well, the environment thing, that's like
something tree-huggery, I don't know.
Like the wind through the trees.
All right.
So the other thing you can do is right-click on this.
Okay, now I'm pretty sure that I will have it.
All right, so Matt's figured it out.
Yep. I had to switch around my where my output devices were.
Okay, is anyone else hearing the music?
I am.
Just barely.
Yeah, I hear it kind of low and
my volume's at 35. Oh geez, now something happened. It got really loud.
Well, I mean,
but I have headphones on too, so that might be making a difference for me. Is that
Okay, so I had my music volume turned down or lower, so that's why the music was lower. I don't know about the narration part.
Yeah. So I can hear it, but none of my volume controls are working. The volume change I think I hear is you changing it, right, Howard?
as I change it, it changes everything for everyone. And
right.
Once you try and run it again, your narration again.
I'll run the narration through.
Sit down a moment and let me spin a yarn about a brave group of adventurers who just returned from the Moonwood. It starts with a plea from a harper. The adventurers were summoned to the House of the Harp, where Anerzy Keenan laid before them a mission of uncommon weight. The Moonwood, sacred home of the dryad Lila Mosslash.
So I was feeding back from both Brad and Aaron during that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could hear it that time.
But I can mute when you're playing that.
Yeah.
I can hear it better now, though.
So the music channel seems to be the only one that people can consistently hear.
Well, the interesting thing there, Howard, was when that was playing, I tried that thing what Jason was talking about where I moved the sound bar, and I moved the interface bar to 0 and it went away. So I'm not sure how that happened.
Okay.
But I'm no computer geek, so I don't know. I don't know.
You're just a regular geek.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like a old school geek, I think, maybe. OG geek? OGG?
Caveman geek.
You're like a DOS 1.0 geek.
Like Commodore 64 geek.
Yeah. Well, we know Howard's a Commodore 64 geek. But I'm pretty sure he kept up with the times.
He's an Atari 2600 geek.
I'm a Pong geek. I don't know.
You still got that Commodore 64, Howard?
No.
I had one.
Set up some MIG a little later.
Oh, well, Matt wandered away from his computer and Bluetooth is
Yeah,
crackling.
you could hear it, couldn't you?
Okay. Well, then let's go ahead and do the chapter summary.
I said we're going to set up some MIG alley a little later, right?
Yeah. Those were the days, huh?
Yep.
One I liked was the F-16 Fighting Falcon.
I like that one too.
Yep.
And I still had my garage. I still have a joystick I bought because I was going to set that up on a computer of mine, and no computer I ever bought would run it right. It would crash.
I had the Falcon for the.
Yeah, I did, and then I bought Falcon 3.0 also. Didn't play that one as much.
Oh, stop.
You know,
All
I
right.
went to an Intel school for the Air Force, and they actually, in the classroom, they had that Falcon. It was an Intel course just for F-16 Intel guys, and they actually had it in there as a training tool. And they didn't care, you know, if you in breaks in classes or after school or whatever, you could hang out. And but now they wanted you to run it with the radar modes and all that stuff. But yeah, they used it for a training tool.
I always wanted to get the
Hey,
A10
I
Whitlock
have
from the
to.
Dream
I hate
Maker
to
and do
interrupt
tank
real quick.
missions.
I need to interrupt real quick. I got to go make a phone call, and I might have to leave for a little bit. Yep.
Howard
right.
wants to play
We
his
should
intro.
probably get started too.
Can you
Huh?
let Howard play his intro? Can you wait that long?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, it's 23 minutes.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, really hoping to have stage for.
Matt ruins everything.
Oh, I knew this was
That's why you can't have nice things.
knew this was a risk when he said he was on call.
He did say it.
Yeah, he did.
Almost suggested that we hear everyone.
Jason.
Yeah, I was available.
Nobody's saying any names, so I'd say it.
I'm here right now.
So why don't you
Unlike-
just play it, and then if well, let's wait. Let's let Matt make his phone call.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's see if he's actually going to have to go on.
Oh, I absolutely know I'm going to. It's my boss who sent me this information.
Tell him to fuck off.
Was it a dick pic? Don't put up with that shit, man.
No, it's one of those that I want this taken care of tonight, kind of
it's
things.
a buddy of his. Who's there?
Yeah, it's somebody else's mess up, and they want it taken care of tonight because it's like his pastor of his church or something.
You better get like quadruple overtime.
I kind of feel like sending him a text as long as you're paying me, double time.
Tell him if
Tell him
Jesus
he should
didn't
pray
want him
on
to
that
sweat,
and see what happens.
Yeah.
Tell him Jesus didn't want him to sweat. He wouldn't have made it so hot out. So
yeah,
suck it up, because that's what the Lord wants. The Lord wants you to sweat. That's why He broke your air conditioner.
yeah. No, it's even worse. It's a sewer smell.
Oh, out of the air handler?
Yeah, it's probably a drain.
Gosh.
It's the fires of Hades stinking things up.
Yeah, it's the fire and brimstone speech.
All right.
So then, if he's going to be gone, why don't we just don't mean to exclude him or anything, but why don't we just go ahead and do the session, and then maybe sometime this week you guys could get together and you go play it for him on Discord.
Well, it's going to be on YouTube, so you can
It'll be on
watch it
YouTube,
anytime
so-
you want.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We'll get another hit on the channel too. That'll make like 2.
All right. Well, very good. So this is a recap of Chapter 8. I do know that we all met one on one. Some of you, I kind of covered some of the highlights and stuff about this. It was September 29th when we concluded this, and it took us a while to get to that point. So there's probably some details that are well over a year old, probably forgotten. So for your benefit, all of this information is available to you. You don't actually have to log into the Foundry and get to this, which is journal. I'm going to go ahead and show the entire. So you can go to the upper right on the where all the buttons are. There is a old button. Saga: The March of the Confederates journal. It's every chapter gone through with this party, starting with character introduction, going through chapters. There are notes there. If I could direct your attention to the very last entry, Chapter 8 entry, called Free Lila Moslak.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
So you're talking about upper right, go to journal,
I
click on that.
I hit show players and it should have popped up for you.
It did pop up, but I'm kind of curious where it is if I want to find it myself.
So you see chat and combat encounters, scenes, actors, items, and the sixth one is journal.
Yep, I got that. I click on that.
And then under there should be player handouts.
Yep.
Saga: The March of the Confederates.
Okay, got it. All right, I got it. Thank you.
The journal.
Okay.
So before we get to that journal, I do want to introduce you to helper for. This is Old Bramble. So now don't let the frail frame fool you. The old man with the worn lute slung over his shoulder and the jug of whiskey balanced on his knee, that's Master Bramblehook. Most folks just call him Old Bram. He's a fixture of Silvery Moon, kind that comes with creaky knees, too many stories, and the patience of a tree. Find him perched on a low stone bench outside the Golden Oak most nights, weaving tales in exchange for supper and a soft place to rest his boots. Takes his whiskey slow, same reverence other reserved for prayer, and every so often, dust his round spectacles, lean in with a twinkle in his eye, and say, "This is the part I swear's true," which is how you know it probably is. Bramble's a part-time tutor at the Faklukan, the Bardic College in Silvery Moon. Teaches folklore and local history, at least when he's sober enough to be understood. What he really teaches, how to tell a story right. Rhythm, with drama, with enough wiggle room to let the truth stretch its life. He's got a voice like parchment left too long in the sun, thin and crackling. When he sings an old dwarven marching song, recalls the laughter of adventurers long gone, it carries more weight than a ballad from rail thin, wispy beard, never seems to grow or shorten for the season. His cloak is frayed, his boots mismatched, and his fingers tremble slightly when he plays. When he starts to talk about the silver marches, about the wolves in the moonwood, towers of Everlund, old legends buried beneath Thunderbar, where time itself leans. Old Bramble doesn't care much for nobles or coin, but he remembers names, real names, and his memory is sharp where it counts. If your name finds its way into one of his, chances are it'll out. Embellished, of course. But remember. So that's Old Bramble. He's a bard, and he is the narrator that's going to be dropping most of the narration that I have prepared for encounters and so forth. And he was kind enough to read the Chapter 8 summary for us. So if you would, I'll go ahead and reprompt you with the correct chapter pulled up for you. And then lean in and listen to Old Bramble for me.
Sit down a moment and let me spin a yarn about a brave group of adventurers
You're feeding
who
back, Jason.
just returned from the Moonwood. It starts with a plea from a harper. The adventurers were summoned to the House of the Harp, where Anerzy Keenan laid before them a mission of uncommon weight. The Moonwood, sacred home of the dryad Lila Mosslash, was under the shadow of Greedrig the Cunning, a green dragon whose intimidation and cunning had sown fear among its denizens and upset the forest's delicate balance. Anarzi's plea was direct: free Lila from the dragon's tyranny, safeguard the Moonwood, and in doing so, protect the harmony of the Silver Marches. In return, she offered them an extraordinary reward, the chance to join the Harpers, a secretive network dedicated to preserving balance and justice across the realms. Before they could act, however, Anarzi urged them to seek the sanction of Lady Illustrial, High Mage of Silvery Moon, warning that confronting a dragon carried political consequences as potent as its physical dangers. Handing over a sealed letter of endorsement, she sent them to present their cause at the palace, trusting their judgment in a matter where nature, politics, and the will of dragonkind were precariously intertwined. The high palace of Silvery Moon rose before them, a masterpiece of mithril and magic, its silvered gates parting in silent welcome. Inside, vaulted halls shimmered with runes and history, the air alive with an almost tangible pulse of arcane power. At the heart of its grandeur sat Lady Illustrial's Silver Hand, her moonlit hair and starlit robes lending her an air both regal and otherworldly. Her gaze met each of theirs, warm yet unyielding, as they presented Anarzi Keenan's sealed letter. With a motion as delicate as it was deliberate, she broke the seal and let its words speak themselves into the chamber. Lady Illustrial weighed the danger of Greedrig against the tyranny he had wrought over the Moonwood, acknowledging the delicate politics of dragonkind while recognizing the greater peril of leaving his influence unchecked. Rising from her throne, she granted them her blessing and her caution, urging that their mission must restore balance, not unravel it. Before they set out, she instructed them to seek Lady Tagarda, her trusted authority on draconic matters, currently in Silvery Moon at the Vault of the Sages. With that charge, and the weight of one of Faerun's most powerful mages behind them, the adventurers left the palace with renewed purpose. The Vault of the Sages greeted the adventurers with a kaleidoscope of light through stained glass and the heady scent of ancient parchment. Loremaster Eldrin Thistlecloak, robed in silver and green and leaning on a staff crowned with amethyst, welcomed them and guided them deep into the labyrinth of enchanted shelves. In a quiet alcove, they found Lady Tagarda, her silver hair shimmering like moonlight, her gaze as sharp as the quill that had no doubt filled many tomes. Listening intently to their account of Gridrig's intimidation of the Moonwood, she spoke with the measured gravity of one who understood dragons all too well. A young green dragon, she warned, was a master of guile and ambush, dangerous not only for his strength but for his cunning. If they were to face him, they must match his subtlety, seek allies in the forest, and learn his habits before moving against him. Respect for dragon kind, she cautioned, must temper their resolve. Gridrig was no mere beast, but an intelligent force woven into the world's magic. Her counsel gave them both direction and perspective, and with thanks they left the alcove, the wisdom of the vault and its guardians weighing in their favor as they prepared for the challenges ahead. The trek through the Moonwood tested the adventurers at every turn, first against shambling mounds that surged from the undergrowth, then in a brutal midnight skirmish with a band of werebears. At last, the dense canopy parted to reveal a tranquil glen bathed in soft light, its air rich with the scent of wildflowers and fallen leaves. At the heart stood the great oak, and beside it Lila Mosslash, the dryad guardian whose willowy form seemed woven from the glen itself. Her eyes, dimmed by fear, betrayed the cost of Gridrig's shadow over the forest. Lila's voice, like wind through ancient boughs, confessed the truth. Bound to the oak, she was tied to every root and leaf in the Moonwood, and Gridrig exploited that bond to watch, to listen, to control. She dared not be seen aiding them, for the dragon's wrath would be swift. Yet Anna's gentle diplomacy, Lefea's pointed questions, and Ray's quiet assurance broke through her hesitation. If they promised to protect the oak and the glen, she would give them what knowledge she could. Ray gave his word, and in that solemn exchange a fragile trust was forged, one that might decide the fate of the Moonwood itself. Lila could not say where Gridrig's lair lay hidden, only the stretches of the Moonwood he favored. She spoke, too, of another possibility, a far older and more powerful dragon, Desildarindun's Silverwing, who sometimes walked the forest in the guise of a woodsman. Yet she had no notion of where to find him, leaving the party to decide that seeking Gridrig near his hunting grounds was the surer path. Venturing deeper into the ancient wood, the canopy thickened, shadows pooling over mossy paths, and the air grew still, as though the forest itself was holding its breath. A sudden groan broke the hush, leading them through brambles into a small sunlit clearing where a great brown bear lay bleeding among the ferns. Its flank was torn open, each breath ragged and shallow. Pain and fear gleamed in its eyes as it struggled to rise, and in a heartbeat the moment of pity turned perilous. With a roar born of desperation, the beast hurled itself forward, forcing the adventurers to meet the charge or be crushed beneath its fury. Choosing compassion over conflict, the party calmed the wounded brown bear, tending its injuries and feeding it until the great beast rose and lumbered back into the woods. Their mercy did not go unnoticed. From the autumn-hued undergrowth emerged Eldrin, a fey brownie whose bark-patterned skin, moss-tipped horns, and leaf-like ears marked him as a spirit of the forest itself. Speaking in the lilting cadence of Sylvan, he thanked them for their kindness, vowing that the forest would remember their deed and offering his friendship and protection as they traveled the Moonwood. Sensing an opportunity, Leffy asked Eldrin about the elusive silver dragon, Desel Darindun Silverwing, said to walk the wood in mortal guise. Though Eldrin admitted he had not seen the worm in many moons, he hinted at another who might know more, an equally elusive figure deep within the Moonwood. With a mischievous smile, the brownie urged them to follow the path of the whispering pines, warning that the way would test their resolve. With that, he slipped ahead, and the party followed, the forest around them alive with the quiet music of rustling leaves and unseen eyes. Eldrin guided the party deeper into the Moonwood through shadowed trails and sunlit clearings until they reached a crystal stream framed by autumn's gold and crimson. Pausing with uncharacteristic solemnity, the brownie told them they were close to the one they sought, but must wait while he went ahead. As they rested along the bank, Leffy tracing patterns in the water, Anna coaxing soft notes from her pipa, and Lila relaxing for the first time outside her grove, the forest seemed to cradle them in its quiet magic. When Eldrin returned, he led them into a sunlit glade where Lyriel the unicorn stood, her silver mane flowing like a waterfall of light, her presence at once serene and commanding. Lyriel listened to their purpose, then asked Eldrin to test the truth of their hearts. The brownie stepped to Pharos, whose hand he took in a warm, dawn-like glow that stilled the forest. Finding only courage and compassion, Eldrin declared the ranger's heart pure. Satisfied, Lyriel told them Desel Darindon Silverwing camped near caves in the southern hills, but warned that the full moon's approach would bring dangerous shape changes to the wood. With her blessing and Eldrin's goodwill, the adventurers departed, carrying the memory of moonlit hide and silver horn into the deepening forest. Moving through the southern moonwood under Ferris's careful guidance, the party eventually spotted a thin trail of smoke curling into the evening sky. They advanced cautiously into a small clearing where a broad-shouldered woodsman regarded them with a piercing, unreadable gaze. Anna stepped forward, invoking the names of Lyriel and Eldrin, which softened his demeanor enough to invite them to sit by his fire. As the flames crackled, he revealed himself as Desel Darindun Silverwing, the great silver dragon in human guise, and asked them to keep his identity secret for the safety of the forest. When they pled for his help against Gridrig, he refused direct confrontation, explaining that a dragon duel would shatter the Moonwood's delicate balance and invite chaos. Instead, he counseled them to appeal to the green dragon's vanity, offering him recognition and prestige to coax him into cooperation. Lila, hearing this, urged that they return to her grove, for it was the one place Gridrick visited regularly, giving them a chance to meet on their terms. Ray and Conry agreed they must exhaust every peaceful option, but be ready for battle if talks failed. Anna voiced concern for Lila's safety, but the Dryad, long under Gridrig's shadow, accepted the risk in exchange for the possibility of freedom. The others pledged to protect her and scout the grove's surroundings to avoid ambush. With unity and resolve, the group broke camp, bound for the great oak, where they would lay their trap of words and wits. knowing the fate of the Moonwood might hinge on whether they could turn a dragon's pride into an ally. As the party pressed through the Moonwood toward Lila's glen, still weary from a fierce clash with a pack of phase spiders, a sudden stillness fell over the forest. Out of that silence descended Gridrig the Cunning, his great emerald form coiling around an ancient tree, eyes gleaming with predatory intelligence. His presence was oppressive, his voice a deep, resonant growl as he accused Leela of conspiring with outsiders. Fear gripped the clearing, but Anna stepped forward with deliberate grace, weaving her words with flattery and calculated respect. She praised Gridrig's mastery of the Moonwood, not as a tyrant, but as a ruler, capable of inspiring loyalty through wisdom. Her proposal was simple yet daring. Allow Lila to serve not as a fearful subject, but as a willing ally. His eyes and ears in the forest, a symbol of his benevolence to creatures and worms alike. She promised his name would be spoken not only in fear, but in awe. His rule elevated beyond brute dominance to one of sophistication and prestige. The green dragon studied her in silence, tail carving lazy furrows in the earth as her words settled. At last, his posture eased, and he acknowledged the merit in her reasoning, but he demanded proof of their sincerity, an audience with Theodluin Ziltris, elder of the reclusive Eruchan Ethil clan, whose wisdom Gridrig sought for his own designs. The task was daunting. The Moon Elves did not welcome strangers, much less emissaries of a dragon. Still, the adventurers agreed, securing Gridrig's word that Lila would be left in peace so long as they succeeded. With a final warning of swift retribution should they fail, Gridrig's great wings carried him aloft, vanishing into the canopy. In the quiet that followed, relief mingled with the heavy weight of their new mission. Lila's gratitude was tempered by the knowledge that their work was far from over, but Anna's steady reassurance rekindled the group's resolve. They would see this through, together. After parting ways with Lila, the party set out under Pharos' guidance to find Theodluin Siltris, elder of the reclusive Eruchan Ethil Moon Elves, and persuade him to meet with Gridrig. Navigating the deep moonwood with care, they soon encountered an elven scout, whose suspicion gave way to cautious acceptance after Pharos vouched for them, and the group offered gifts of respect. Theodluin emerged, wary of the dragon's motives, but willing to hear them out. He agreed to meet Gridrig at Seluna's meadow, a sacred and neutral site, on the condition that the party guarantee his safety. With both sides reluctantly committed, the adventurers prepared to escort the elder to the appointed meeting. On the night of the gathering, the group guided Theodluin to the moonlit meadow, its rings of glowing mushrooms and air of divine sanctity providing a serene yet tense setting. Gridrig arrived in a calculated display of power, his emerald form gleaming under the moonlight, and fixed his piercing gaze on the elder. After formal greetings, he demanded a private audience. Though the party voiced concerns, Theodluin accepted with the promise to signal if treachery arose, leaving the adventurers to hold their perimeter and watch closely as the two figures stepped into the center of the sacred ground. Unbeknownst to Gridrig, Ray's pixie familiar, Shion, stealthily positioned herself to eavesdrop on the conversation. Hidden among the shadows, she strained to catch every word. Gridrig presented Theodluin with a drawing of mysterious artifact. Nar Ath Tel Adol, an ancient relic of immense magical significance. The dragon inquired about its nature and origins, his tone calculated and probing. Theodluin, though initially guarded, confirmed the artifact's existence, explaining that it was a long-lost treasure of his clan, taken by the orcs generations ago. The artifact, he revealed, was imbued with pure magical essence, a power sought by many, but understood by few. The brief conversation ended with a nod of acknowledgment from Griedrich, who dismissed the elf without further probing. Cheyenne relayed the exchange to Ray, who kept the information close, knowing its potential implications. Griedrich returned from his private talk with Theodluin Siltris, and, with a mix of arrogance and acknowledgment, declared he would keep his word, ruling the Moonwood not as a tyrant, but as a wise protector. With a final menacing glance, the green dragon took to the skies, leaving the meadow's tense stillness behind. The party escorted Theodluin back to his people, earning a rare expression of gratitude from the Moon Elf Elder, especially toward Pharos, for his understanding of elven ways. After bidding farewell to Leela Mosslash, the group returned to Silvery Moon to meet with Anarsi Keenan at the House of the Harp. She commended their diplomacy in uniting a dragon and a forest guardian without bloodshed, declaring it the kind of victory the Harpers valued most. Anarsi then extended a formal invitation for them to join the Harpers, explaining the Order's mission to protect balance and freedom from the shadows, without seeking power for themselves. One by one, Anna, Conry, Ray, Pharos, and Xander swore the Harper's oath and received golden pins bearing the harp and crescent moon. LeFay declined, choosing a different path, though remaining an ally. Xander's pin briefly revealed a hidden rune visible only to him, a secret sign of approval from his mysterious patron, before fading to its normal form. With their new allegiances sealed, Anarzi welcomed them fully into the Harpers, reminding them they were now part of a network bound by unity, vigilance, and the quiet pursuit of justice. After being welcomed into the Harpers, the adventurers made their way to the high palace of Silvery Moon to brief Lady Alustriel on the Moonwood mission. In the grandeur of her court, Anna recounted how they had secured peace between Griedrich and Lila Mosslash, restoring balance without bloodshed. Alustriel praised the diplomacy that had swayed a dragon to restraint, noting the Harper pins now worn by each member and affirming it was an honor rarely bestowed. She hinted at unrest west of Sundabar, where orc warbands threatened stability, and suggested the group might be drawn there next. Before they left, Alustriel urged them to visit Lady Tagarda in the palace library, believing she would value news of Griedrich's change in course. In the library's quiet glow, the adventurers recounted their journey to Lady Tagarda, sharing each encounter from the brownie Eldrin to Theodluin Ziltris. Tagarda listened with serene approval, commending their courage, compassion, and newfound Harper status. Though she spoke little of it, her interest sharpened at mention of the silver dragon Deseldarinden Silverwing. After leaving the library, Anna lingered behind, piecing together subtle clues to Tagarda's reactions, her deep dragon lore, and her connection to Silverwing, and revealed to the party her belief that Tagarda was Valamaradat, the golden dragon queen of the north in human guise. The group agreed to keep the revelation private, crossing the moon bridge with a renewed sense of awe for the allies they had gained.
All right. Thank you to Old Bramble. Occasionally, we'll get too deep into his whiskey and wander off a little bit. Glad he was able to go through that entire summary. I hope that helps you guys recall all the details and brings forward a few things you might want to follow through on. Before I take the next step, any follow-through questions, comments, thoughts?
No, very cool. Appreciate the summary.
Yeah, I can understand why he's broke, though. It's not exactly an exciting tale that rouses the spirits and makes you want to buy his dinner.
He lost his job as a narrator for old Disney films.
I mean, I couldn't hire just anyone. Had to find
Had
someone.
to have experience.
Had to find someone that could handle the weight of these. Came at a reasonable price. All right. So next, I'd like to turn it over to you all. I met with all of you one-on-one and discussed what your characters have done since that chapter 8. Party hung around in and around Silvery Moon by and large. Couple of missions in mind. One, they wanted to establish a stronghold, which they did, and two, they wanted to follow through on some of the things that had happened and maybe try to adjust that a little bit. If you don't mind, Mike. I'd like to start with your winter, if you'd like to share.
Sorry, you mean me?
Yeah, I said Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you cut out for just a second, so I was just making sure. Sure. So, with Conry's backing and the money that we've made, we did manage to procure a house, an actual mansion, no less, and introduced the party to it as our new base of operations. A fairly large mansion whose owner mysteriously left under extenuating circumstances that I promise I have nothing to do with. And we got it on the cheap. Everybody has their spot. I don't know if you have a map or not to show them, but
I do. But
it's a fairly large building with room for everybody, plus a wooded outdoor section of grounds, but it is inside Silvery Moon. So we have a mansion in the what was it, the Noble District, was it?
Yeah, it's on the North Bank.
North Bank, the good end of town. And we've been we were able to move in, and I've gone ahead and gotten set up with it came with servants. So we have our servants, we have a butler, a maid, a cook, so on and so forth. And we also managed to get a business arrangement along with a worker to start producing a series of medicinal cures, all perfectly legal, aimed at the common man. The idea is to provide a little bit more of a customer base than you would get just by going to adventurers alone. And that has picked up as a little side business that is bringing in we're not going to get rich on it, but we're at least our normal bills are going to be covered. And then during the midwinter, excuse me, during the midwinter festival, I presented a gift to everybody. For the most part, it's well, I'm just going to put it bluntly. They're kind of like office gifts, white elephant gifts. But I did present Conry, who isn't here to see it, but I did present him with a displacer cloak under the theory that he's going to be toe to toe far more often than I am. Let's see.
You didn't want to read from your narration?
It's not opening, and I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah. I've tried downloading it a couple times, and it won't open. Let's see. Maybe I can open it in.
Enough to drop in Discord.
Yeah, if you want to drop it into Discord, but I can't open it. I think it's because it's a Word file. All right. Let me rearrange my window just a smidge.
I'll run down the hall.
Yep. So let's see here. Let's see. So I took the lead in identifying, working with the realtor, and found this place has enough trees and natural landscape to put LaFay at ease, and Ferris is reminded of his home in the Moonwood. Let's see. There's a storage room for Conry's training. Another room is a brewery for potions, not for booze. Let's see. We've got the interesting one is the house steward is actually a drow. But he checked out so far, so it's fine. So yes, welcome to my home. We're all sharing it.
Is a
What's
drow
that?
a good idea?
The drow is fine. He checked out.
Checked out how? Who'd you check with?
I checked with references in I checked with friends of mine.
Okay. All right, that's better than references.
Yeah.
So is this is your
reference.
Say again?
This is your house that you've invited us to stay in. You're flipping the bill.
That's the way I'm describing it. Yes.
So you're paying the bill is what Jason is going after there?
Between Conry and myself, yeah, we're basically paying the bills.
And how did the rest of the staff? Did you vet the rest of the staff?
Yes, I did.
Okay, all right.
Wasn't that that was cited in the?
Go ahead. Yes, it's not in the handout.
It's not going to be a test on all this, right?
No, well, I hope not.
We've got handouts. We've got journals. I'm feeling like we got an after session reading assignment.
Yeah.
All over again.
It's because when Howard copied it in, the way Discord works is it doesn't do line breaks very well, or line wrapping. Let's see here. So we've got a merchant and an apprentice apothecary, basically, who will make medicines and then pass them off to sell, and then we get enough money to pay the way for now, at least. If we want to go a little bit, if we want to get fancy, then it's good. We're gonna have to kick in some more money. Yeah. So the steward, no history of theft, no debts, no misplaced loyalties that we can tell. Um, and his name is Valerin, who is the steward. Valerin, sorry, Valerin.
These friggin' elf names, they're too hard to keep track of.
A drow name.
Yeah.
Drow.
Let's see. Yep. So let's see. The covered the displacer cloak, which I'm assuming that you've already run by Matt and put it on his character sheet.
Oh, I was letting you bring it on him.
Letting me do it. Well, of course, the recipient of the gift is not here to react.
What's that do?
Instead, dealing with sewage-smelling air conditioner. But yes, I traded. I had 2 of the displacer beasts pelts, and I traded one of them and got the other one crafted into a displacer cloak.
So, what's the displacer cloak do for him?
Basically, it works just like a displacer beast. It displaces his image a few feet away, so that people in melee people that attack him are more likely to miss. I forget the mechanics of it, but that's the gist of it.
He appears to be somewhere slightly different than where he is.
Does that help with camouflage at all?
No, you still see him. It's just you see the wrong spot.
Okay. Then the cool tentacle things don't come out and
no.
With Connery, he might want the tentacles left on, but I didn't assume that. Let's see. I will pass along that I did have a little bit of difficulty between the Harpers and the guild. I think it's navigated for now, but both of them kind of want exclusive contracts, but neither one is willing to pay for it. So I'm staying kind of independent for now.
So does the guild? I mean, are you in the guild, or
yeah, I have to pay for it.
Okay, but that's you don't have to swear anything to be a member of the guild.
I did not have to swear anything, but it is a fairly expensive yearly fee.
Because for the
they're more interested in information than they are the typical.
All right. Any more questions or follow up on Ray's winner? Someone else want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. I don't care. So Xander spent a lot of his time researching, trying to figure out who his patron is, and that took up a fair bit of time. But I also had him, sit down and try and help run the shop wagon selling business, right? And because he's so charismatic, I had him go out and kind of make the rounds with the various vendors in town to get an idea of what they were offering, what prices they were selling things at, get an idea for what we need to price our products at. And then, in the future, I didn't really coordinate this very well. So I didn't have him actually produce anything, healing potions or any of that kind of stuff. But those are things he could do. He could also produce some scrolls. If we wanted to sell those in the future, that's something he could do. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, Ray, when you were saying that, you had to invest. If we wanted to sell some better products, we were going to have to invest some money in it in order to.
Better products. It depends on Howard, how he wants to do that kind of thing. But I was thinking, like, if we wanted to get like enhancements to the house in some form, like high security doors or a magic teleportation circle or any of that kind of thing.
And then I don't know if anybody took advantage of this or not, but I mentioned to Howard looking for a magic item.
Yeah.
Ray doesn't have the money for magic items.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
You helped me out.
in
Yeah.
this game.
That was in the other game.
Yeah.
That was in the other game.
No, he did it in this one too.
Yeah.
Oh, was it this one?
Fa-
So
Ferris did take you up on your offer.
so Xander, has some connects now in the community. Not that that really affects the dice rolls. I don't think, but maybe, Howard.
Somebody.
Yeah, Howard's a little kinder with us when we go around the selection process or whatever. But he's got a lot of contacts now in Silvery Moon as far as magic item vendors and that kind of thing. So I think that's everything, Howard, isn't it?
Didn't I give you notes as well?
Oh, you may have. I was just going off the cuff. Let me pull my notes up. Put my glasses back on. Can't see anything anymore. Oops.
Travel. Get isolated down to about 5 different possibilities. Conversation.
Where are you seeing that?
Under the patrons puzzle.
No, I mean, where do you see the notes?
I sent them to you in your Discord and private channel.
Oh,
If you go to direct message.
I didn't get a notification of anything. 8 new messages.
Yeah, because you couldn't open a document, so I sent it in PDF.
Oh, that's right. I remember. What did I do with that?
The link is still sitting there in your direct messages.
I thought I downloaded. Yeah, here we go. I got it downloaded. Oh wait, that's in Word. That's no good. All right, I'm lost. Where am I at? March of the Confederates. See, I don't use this is the only thing I pretty much use Discord for. So I am as unsavvy with this as I am with everything else on a computer anymore. Isn't that terrible? I stopped working and
If you don't use it, you lose it.
yeah. I bet if I
So if you go to the icon in the upper left-hand corner, it says direct message. Last thing.
direct messages.
Upper left-hand corner.
I click on that. I see a list of my friends, but I don't see.
Yeah, and if you click on my face,
I don't see you on there. It says 3 online.
You don't see Duck One under direct messages?
I
just sent you another message.
I saw that. Oh, there you are below it. I got you. My apologies. So let's
That
see.
is Matt.
Yeah, so I worked on that patron thing. I worked on the store stuff, right? And then got to get access to the restricted archives of the Vault of Sages, and that takes an inn, some sort of inn.
Got to know somebody.
Yeah. So I went through the Harpers, and I got some work to do there. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me. That I had pretty much all of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions for Brad before we move on?
I had one question for Ray. So it's on the north end. Do you have a around what number
Vaguely.
on the map?
I'll ping it.
Okay.
Wait, what was the question?
He was trying to
Okay.
get.
He wanted to know where the mansion is. It's
Okay.
between 18 and 19.
Yeah, 19's actually a
Okay.
gate out of the city. Not too far from that gate.
We can make a quick getaway if we have to.
Called the Mold
Nice.
Gate.
The which gate?
Mold Gate.
What's the square footage on our place?
I couldn't tell you.
How many bathrooms?
How many
Two.
bathrooms?
Well, there's 2 bathrooms, and then the rest of you have buckets.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind. It seemed like it was an okay thing. No one complained.
Anna and I share a bathroom.
You are
just
going to find out.
Three.
You are going to find out there are some differences for places. There's going to be one wing got the better bathroom. There's 4 bathrooms.
And I will say that I did not design this mansion. Howard designed the mansion.
I mean, you all know if there's a sock on the door, right?
We know if Xander's room is rocking, don't come a knocking.
That's right.
It hasn't happened yet, so I think we're okay.
Let me guess. Anna got the restroom.
More likely than not.
So they're. You get the tour of the facility here in a bit, and you can figure out who got the good draw. Everyone got a little something better.
She's not even staying there, right? She's gonna stay at her.
Oh no, she's staying there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thought she'd be hanging out with her bard buddies.
Well, she can do that during the day, but at night, I want to live with her mom forever. She want to stay with her parents forever. She's a little old for that.
Was she staying with her parents? Is that what she was doing? I thought she was in a guild or something. Maybe I'm mixing that up.
No, she goes to the Faklukan quite a bit, which is the Bard College.
Yeah.
That might be a nice segue to go over to you, Aaron. Do you want to update us about Aaron's winter?
Oh, all right. So, did you want me to, Howard? I know you've been trying to encourage people to read.
Well, there's just a lot of there's a lot of details in there, and it's just a little easier to recall things. If you want to read it, you can. If you want to go off the cuff like the other guys did, I'm not going to pigeonhole you.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to read it since you did put a lot of thought into it. But yeah. So to answer Brad's question, yes, she. Her dad and mom are they're residents at the Falukon. So in a sense, she was living with her parents. So yeah, this is like living somewhere else is like a break for her from them. So
she's moving out of the dorm.
Right, exactly. So, all right. So first thing, all right. So I'm just gonna read this. So. Item number 1, thread and needle. The idea began simply enough: costumes. Finding outfits that could endure a bard's physical storytelling while remaining elegant was no small challenge. Anna wanted pieces that didn't look striking but carried meaning, clothing that told the story alongside her words and movements. Her mother, still well connected in the artistic circles of Silvery Moon, arranged an introduction to a respected tailor. Before long, Anna was apprenticed, learning the craft. She proved a quick study, her dancer's precision translating well to the delicate work of stitch and cut. While she still had much to learn, her designs were already drawing comment, particularly the vibrant, symbol-laden pieces she prepared for an upcoming production about Grydrick. All right. Item number 2, Grydrick's story. The Green Dragon's reformation, if that's what it truly was, had come with a peculiar condition. The group would help spread tales of his benevolence, raising his prestige among the people of the Silver Marshes. Anna, with her Felucon connections and gift for performance, was the natural choice. She wrote a show, Grydrick, the untold story of greatness. Music, dance, and vivid costume combined to recast the worm not as a terror, but as a wise and magnanimous protector. It was ambitious, but Anna poured herself into it. The opening performance, attended by townsfolk, merchants, and children, earned a rousing ovation. The Felucon requested 5 more performances. Each time, as the applause swelled, Anna's eye swept the audience, searching for a familiar face in disguise. If Grydrick came to watch, he hid himself well. All right. Item number 3, return to the Moonwood. The role of storyteller was one thing, the role of witness was another. Anna couldn't be content simply performing Grydrick's virtues. She wanted proof the story was still true. She gathered 2 companions and made the winter trek into the Moonwood, where snow lay deep and the trees whispered in a language older than her craft. They found Lila Mosslash among frost-kissed ferns, her form solid and vibrant, eyes bright with the calm of one no longer hunted. The meadow, though dormant for winter, showed signs of care, cleared brush, healthy saplings, and subtle protective magics woven into the perimeter. Lila explained that since the group's intervention, Grydrick had not sought to dominate her. When he appeared, it was as an equal, sharing tidings of the wider forest and, on occasion, leaving small but valuable gifts, bundles of rare herbs or tokens of fey craftsmanship. Anna lingered in conversation with the Dryad, speaking of the city's reception to Grydrick's new reputation and of her own efforts to bolster it. Lila listened with quiet interest, though she made no promises beyond her own experiences. The visit ended with an exchange of parting gifts. Anna left behind a small scarf of her own making, deep green with gold thread embroidery meant to mimic dragon scales. Lila, in return, gifted her a pressed sprig of moonleaf, said to bring clarity of mind in moments of doubt. Anna left the Moonwood reassured, though mindful that trust, like winter frost, could melt away if the weather turned. All right, and then the other part was that she, blinged out her Harper pin for everybody to see. So that was one thing. And then she went to visit Utrecht. And so he was running a sting operation where he was trying to catch the other people that were involved in the dogfighting ring by acting like the dogfighting ring was still open. And they were able to arrest several people from that. And then so she asked him about the Slod hatchling, and he said that he had tracked, asked, searched, but the trail had gone cold. And so the thing is, with the Slod issue still remains unresolved. So that's how Anna's winter went.
All right, any questions for Aaron? All right, Jason, Elmore, either one of you want to hop in here?
I can go. I will read this wonderful thing that Howard sent through after our notes. He put it through the AI author or whatever. Did a good job. Okay, the winner of Pharos of Telanthrion. I can't even pronounce it. All right. The winter winds that swept across the silver marshes were sharp and relentless, driving most folk indoors. But for Pharos, the cold season was no reason to be idle. There were tools to prepare, relationships to maintain, and traditions to honor. The golden acorn. The first task was one of precision, crafting a special component for his summoned beast spell. This was no simple talisman, but an intricate fusion of rare materials and magic. A golden acorn in which specialized items would be embedded, worth 200 gold in coin and care. At the ladies' college, Ferris found a willing artisan in Professor Therivial Elensar, a moon elf whose specialty was blending natural and arcane components. Together, they reviewed the list of required materials: powdered moonstone, an owl's feather plucked at midnight, a sprig of winter holly, and the acorn itself, bathed in liquid gold. Over several visits, Ferris watched the craftsman's steady hands work the gold leaf into place, his own excitement mounting with each step. When it was complete, the acorn gleamed like a small captured sun, humming faintly with potential. Rot in the city. The next challenge was less about magic and more about politics, getting his primal companion, Rot, legally recognized within Silvery Moon's walls. Through his Harper contacts, Ferris arranged an audience with Captain Draven Halmar of the City Guard. The captain, the broad-shouldered man with silver temples, listened to the request with an increasingly skeptical expression. A wolf that size, Draven said, glancing over the permit application. Wandering the streets? I'll need to be convinced. Ferris spoke plainly of the party's service to the city and of Rot's discipline. After a tense silence, the captain relented, issuing a permit stamped with the guard's crest, but pairing it with a stern warning. You're responsible for everything this beast does. One incident and the permit is revoked. Am I clear? Ferris nodded. He was clear. Even so, there were moments. A particularly tense one came at the bright blade brandish when a dock worker, several ales into his evening, took offense at Rot's presence. Voices were raised, chairs scraped, but Ferris diffused it with a calm but firm hand on the man's shoulder. He's my companion, Ferris said evenly, and he's earned his place here, same as you. The dock worker muttered but backed down. A blade for winter. When Ferris decided it was time to upgrade his longsword, he took Xander up on an earlier offer to help locate one worth carrying into battle. Xander, drawing on the market connections he'd built for Ray and Conry's brewing venture, found a reputable arms dealer who had an enchanted longsword of fine balance and clean lines. The price was fair, better than fair, and the transaction was swift. Ferris left the shop with a weapon that felt like an extension of his will, the steel carrying the quiet promise of service. Guarding the stage. Ferris wasn't only thinking of himself. When Anna staged her Gredrig performance, he offered his presence as quiet security, watching the audience from the wings and patrolling the edges of the crowd during each ovation. His posture made clear that anyone with ill intent would have to get through him first. When Anna later planned her trip into the Moonwood to check on Lila Mosslash, Ferris volunteered to escort her. The journey was uneventful, but the satisfaction of seeing Lila at peace and knowing Gredrig had kept his word was its own reward. Traditions of Tel Lantherian. The deepest part of Ferris's winter was spent honoring the ways of his clan. Tel Lantherian, as taught to him by his mentor, Veritin Alapator. Both his new enchanted longsword and his treasured longbow were to be consecrated before being taken into another season's battles. He traveled into the Silverwood, braving the snows to stand beneath the golden-barked Lantherian trees that gave his clan its name. For his bow, he chose the name Raptor, adorning it with feathers from a great horned owl, symbols of silent flight and keen sight. For his sword, he chose the name Hematite, setting a polished obsidian into the pommel to ground the blade in the earth's strength. Ferris spent several weeks in the forest over the course of the season, once inviting LaFay to join him. On that second trip, the fire spirit LaFay summoned provided a welcome warmth against the deep cold. The two shared long silences broken only by the sound of snow sliding from branches and the distant call of winter birds. The Narath Tel Ado. One evening by the campfire, Ferris shared with LaFay, and later with the rest of the party, an old tale from Telanthurian history. His clan, he explained, had once held the Narath Tel Ado for centuries, guarding it as both sacred relic and dangerous temptation. But when the orcs sacked the Silver Marches, the stone was taken. Its loss was more than a theft. It was a wound to the clan's pride and heritage. If we ever find it, Ferris said quietly, eyes fixed on the fire, I would see it return to my people. By the time winter thaw began, Ferris's quiver was full, his weapon blessed, Rot's place in the city secured, and his bonds with his allies subtly strengthened. But in his heart, the Silverwood still called. In the shadow of the Narath Tel Ado still loomed, a reminder that some battles wait for generations to be fought. And that was my time.
Very nice. Elmore, anyone have a follow-up? All right, Jason. What you got?
Okay. All right. I'm going to be kind of not going to read all of it. I'll be kind of more a little bit brief. But I spent my time, portion of my time, hanging out with Pharaohs in the Silverwood, smoking a little ganj, doing a little shrooms, communing with nature. During that time, just kind of out there observing the different animals that I had not elk and warhorse, so that kind of added increased my ability to wild shape into some newer animals that are with my CR rating. The other thing I did is I spoke with Ray. Ray had some connections with some private investigator types in town. He directed me to one of those who I paid to do a little research on the bounty hunter, one of the bounty hunters that we had encountered, and trying to find out his name and where he's located. And the bounty hunter was able to find this individual whose name is Finley Marsh, and who is hanging out at what's he hanging out?
The Wayward House.
The Wayward House. He's lodging at the Wayward House. He mentioned that he's been hanging around with a couple of big brutes. The private investigator had seen that he'd been hanging out with a couple of big brutes. So I now have an idea on this guy's name and where he's hanging out. Might be coming up with a plan and maybe visit him at some point.
Can I ask you a question there?
Yeah.
So didn't we run into that guy already, or didn't we run into that guy's name already?
Yep.
Finley Marsh.
Well,
I thought we did.
I would say yes. You did when you were running Uhtred, but yes.
Oh, really? Was that long ago? I thought it was.
It's the redheaded.
The guard guy, the bounty hunter that we caught.
Oh, that's different. A bounty hunter.
Two bounty hunters.
Yeah, but I thought he knew of rivals who were also looking to collect the bounty on LaFay, and I thought his name came up in that.
No, I think for Finley, we kind of like obliquely decided that if he makes trouble outside of the city limits, maybe we should permanently solve that problem.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if anyone took Ray seriously on that suggestion, but I'm pretty sure that the idea came up. Because we had to take him to court, and like the bounty that he was chasing wasn't legally enforceable.
Right.
Yeah.
So he
See, I
he
knew
kind of
that-
got in trouble for it, and
Uh-huh.
supposedly was going to leave it alone. But he kind of basically came up to us and said, "This ruling is only good in Silvery Moon."
That is true.
And we kind of like left and was like, okay, well, if you want to
Right.
try this outside of Silvery Moon, you might not survive the encounter.
Right.
I mean, the guy could just,
Have an accident. Things
disappear.
happen out in the
Yeah,
wilderness.
disappear one night while drinking.
But I mean, I forget the full backstory, but ultimately there's somebody out there putting out these bounties. I guess it was the Pasha.
The Pasha.
Yeah.
Pasha, yeah.
Yeah.
Come clean, LaFay.
sorry,
It wasn't that you burned people. You did something with his daughter, didn't you?
We're not going to talk about that. Anyway, then yeah. So I know we've got Ray's got our new crash pad there, and I worked with was it Lindra Mossbloom, who is a priestess of Maliki, who tended the sacred glade on the city's edge. She agreed to kind of spruce my room up a little bit and kind of make it more of a forest setting. So I've now got this.
Did she literally use spruce?
So I got this great room at the crash pad there with plants and herbs. Great sense of the outdoors. Feeling pretty comfortable there now. Although I still don't. I guess my bathroom is the trees and the plants, which works for me. I don't mind that.
The good part about the wild.
You do have access to the regular bathroom.
Nah, that's no need.
Yeah, I knew he wouldn't mind.
Apparently, Tilly, the housekeeper, took one look at my room though and sighed in bafflement. She doesn't. Not sure how they're going to clean it. She's a little uncertain, but
they'll probably have the stable boy do it.
Yeah, it's probably a wise idea. Pitchfork, probably your best cleaning implement for my room.
A druid bachelor pad.
Yeah. And then I'll just go ahead and read part about before leaving the glade. LaFay confided with Lindra about the actions of Blythethorn and the Discord now rotting the circle of silver. The priestess expression darkened. She revealed that she was herself a member of the circle and had been fighting, and had seen the fighting and lack of cooperation firsthand. She says her concern is mine as well. She said gravely, "Stay in touch with Gabriel Creighton. Tell me what you learn, especially of any changes in the forest. We cannot afford to be blind in times such as these." So yeah, that's pretty much how my downtime was spent. Any questions? Is Brad putting up Christmas ornaments back there? What's going on?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
You realize it's
August.
August, right?
Well, I have them up year round, and I noticed some burn out, and I've got some excess slack, so I just thought I'd take the slack out.
Okay. I guess it takes the work of taking him down and putting him up.
I can hear everything.
So Howard, are you going to do Connery's?
Yeah, I'll just read Connery's real quick. He can come back and comment. Here's the winter of Connery, disciple of the old order. The winter in Silvery Moon was deep and cold, but for Connery, was not a season of idleness. Between travels into the Moonwood, quiet hours at the Vault of Sages, time spent at the dojo, carried the weight of two intertwined missions, honoring the legacy of the old order, sharpening the knowledge that would protect those who came after him. Moonwood visit. Anna organized her winter journey into the Moonwood to check on Lila Mosslash. Conry joined her and Pharos without hesitation. The forest was hushed under its blanket of snow, its branches heavy with frost, each step crunch, quiet. Lila received them warmly. Her meadow, dormant but serene, showed no sign of fear or disruption. Spoke of her recent meetings with Grydrig, brief, cordial exchanges marked by information shared rather than threats made. Conry, ever the observer, noted her tone and posture. There was no hint of tension, only the ease of someone no longer living under a shadow. The visit was short, but it confirmed that the peace that they had brokered still held. Shame of the old order. In the weeks that followed, Conry turned his attention inward, toward the history of his own path. He sought out any surviving members of the old order from the time of the previous dojo, determined to uncover the truth behind the disgrace that had driven them from chivalry minutes ago. Answers were sparse, none of them satisfied. Those who had been tied to the shameful event had either left the city long ago or publicly severed all association with Conry was left with no concrete account, only the faint, lingering sense of a wound his order had not yet fully healed. Tooth and claw. The old order was to thrive again. Its students would need more than philosophy. They would need practical knowledge. During their journeys, Conry had taken to documenting the monsters they faced, spending quiet hours in the camp sketching the forms and noting their behaviors. This winter, he devoted himself fully to refining that work. Days at the Vault of the Sages passed quiet concentration, parchment spread before him, ink staining his fingers as he copied details from the ancient. He met with sages versed in the creatures of the north, frost trolls, remoras, winter wolves, and worse, gathering what was known about their weaknesses, habits, and habitat. From this, he distilled the knowledge into concise entries, identifying marks, notable behaviors, and proven combat strategies. He titled his work manuscript Tooth and Claw, the survival guide to facing monsters of the north. One day, it would become a proper textbook for the dojo students, living record knowledge paid sweat and blood. Dojo's honor. Conry remained committed to seeing the old order's name grow in prestige. A visit to the dojo brought welcome news from Master Draguch. The balance you restored in the Moonwood serves our name well. The dojo is thriving. I've even taken on a new apprentice. Draguch encouraged Conry to remain with the adventuring party while youth and strength still favored him, hinting, without pressing, that one day Conry might take over the dojo himself. When the two sparred that day, students gathered in the ring to watch. The bout was sharp, flowing from stance to strike and back again. When it ended, it was Conry who held the advantage. Draguch bowed, a proud smile touching his features. You've grown, Conry, the old master said, skill and in power. Conry returned the bow, deferential as ever, but the truth was plain. He had surpassed his. Of dragons and discretion. Over tea after the match, Conry recounted the meeting with Grydrig in detail. His curiosity got the better of him, and he asked, Master, have you ever crossed paths with the dragon? Draguch's smile faded into a more thoughtful look. I was fortunate enough to always give them a wide berth, he said, before adding, discretion is indeed the better part of valor. It was the kind of answer that carried as much in its silences as in its words. By winter's end, Conry had not only honed his body, but laid the foundation for work that might one day save lives. Old Order's shames was not yet healed, but its future was brighter. In the eyes of his master, Conry is no longer a student, but a worthy successor. There you go. Questions about Connery? All right, well, should we move on to the things I know you've been dying to find out? First of all, would you like to meet the staff that Ray vetted and ultimately hired?
You cut out, but I think the answer is yes.
Why am I cutting out?
Do we have a say in whether we can fire them or not, or is that purely up to Ray?
You can request that they be changed out, but you'll have to find the replacement.
Right.
So, one point of order that we need to clear up, and I mentioned that front, but the title of the deed needs to be put in somebody's name. Silvery Moon requires that name be a citizen. You all only have one citizen in the group. But
who's that?
That would be
Anna.
Anna.
Well, let's put in her name.
But you could go through the citizenship path and become citizen. Goes to requires that 3 citizens vouch for your character, grant you citizenship. Anyone want to do that? Go through that.
Yeah, I'll do it. Let me give.
Is there a cost associated with it?
Well, yeah, there's a cost.
Oh,
so what's the cost?
Huh? It's 20 gold.
Yeah, I'll do it. I mean, given the fact that this is a safe place for me, I think it might be worthy to get citizenship here.
Is anyone else going to do that?
Sure. I'll at least look into it.
Okay.
Do I get taxed on this on an annual basis now to pick up my garbage and stuff, or
garbage? There's no garbage. Yep, come on now.
The garbage pickup is you just walk to the river and throw it in.
Yeah. There's
only
only
a fee for that.
There's only tax on property owners. So whoever.
Well, I'm in California. You need a permit to do everything here. So.
Yeah, where's your permit to be on this stream?
I'm sure. Sure, there's probably one out there that I don't pay attention to.
Careful, you'll give Elon ideas, and he'll start charging you for Skylink. Your extra for Skylink.
So, which 3 citizens are you going to ask to vouch for you?
Well, I who are? Hold on, I'm trying to get back in the game here.
I'm sure I can come up with 3 names just by asking around at the guild.
Yeah, Anna could be one of them.
Anna can be one of them.
Anna could be one of them.
There might be another. Oh, you're not a Harper.
But will Anna actually vouch for me though?
Well, I have to ask Aaron that question.
Anna, you gonna vouch for me?
Yeah, she doesn't have any issue with that, but yeah, the "you're not a Harvard" thing, that was funny.
I mean, he is a wanted felon in his home, so I mean, you might want to think about that. He's got a bounty on his head and everything, you know.
Yeah, but that's already been settled in Silver Moon. It's fine.
Hey, is that bounty on him? Is that dead or alive?
It's dead or alive.
Yeah, see, that's worse. That means you're.
I was gonna say, is Xander starting to sound a little tempted?
Is Finley Marsh a citizen?
He is not, as far as you know.
I wouldn't vouch for me.
I mean, technically, if we asked nicely and gave a little donation, we've got Anna, her mom, her dad.
What about Connery? Is Connery's not.
Connery is not a citizen.
Connery's not a citizen.
But maybe the dojo master is.
Well,
I don't think either of them
I would
are.
point out that you could ask Lady Swingblade.
Yeah.
And you could ask RZ Keenan.
Some people call it Sling Blade. I call it a Kaiser Blade. But anybody?
Terrible, awful. Yeah, I get it.
Accent, but I mean, it was the quote, not the accent.
Yeah, I'll. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of interactions with folks. What about what's the tavern? Tavern go to, and I got to know some people over there, right?
The
What about that
Brightblade?
storyteller guy?
Yeah, Brightblade.
You're confusing your two characters. I don't
Okay,
know.
that's wrong tavern. Okay.
What about the storyteller guy?
The
Oh, yeah, the whiskey guy. The what's
you want to
his
get
name?
old Bramble to vouch for you?
Old Bramble.
Bramble, yeah.
Is old Bramble a citizen?
Right.
Or you want to?
I'll have Anna, Stefan, and NRZ vouch for me, assuming that they don't have a problem with it.
All right. Well, I need you to roll for on roll persuasion.
After all the money I've made him,
All right. And Jason, who do you gonna have as your character with?
Anna and her parents.
You're gonna ask Aaron to ask her parents to.
I mean, I could ask him.
well, he is living with their daughter, so
They just need to vouch for me. I mean, they don't need to know
daughter
me.
said I'm good enough.
Anna, are you comfortable asking your parents to vouch for LaFay?
Yeah, I mean, he saved my life. He saved my life a few times, so yes, that's fine.
All right, Anna. Aaron. I'm gonna give it a DC 5. Your parents may not be convinced.
Right, exactly.
You better not roll a 1.
She just has to pout at him, probably.
All right, so let me see.
Wait, what does she have to roll?
She has to persuade her own parents to stick their neck out for you.
All right, so which
DC 5? It's persuasion.
would it be persuasion?
Yeah, unless you want to intimidate your parents.
Oh.
A whole different family dynamic there.
Could I?
Yeah, that may turn out differently. All right, they say that because you vouch for him having saved your life. So it's a simple matter of going down to the court with your witnesses. They give their testimony, pay your 20 gold, papers of citizenship. They also have you read the laws of the city, so you're familiar with that, particularly about how they kind of give LaFay a little bit of the side eye and emphasize the part of the mythals that summoning fire within the city cannot happen.
Can I get a permit to do it? Is there an added fee if I can? I mean, is there like a fire mitigation fee I could pay to pay for any damages that might result from?
That's insurance.
No, they don't allow it unless you want to join the spell guard. Good luck with that. You'll need a few levels in wizard or sorcery before. But
all right, I reluctantly agree.
All right, well, deduct your 20 gold, and you now are both citizens. Hopefully, you don't have to get too many jury duties.
Joke's on them. I don't have a driver's license.
Between the two different campaigns, we have firebugs in each one.
So, what happens if he has like a nocturnal emission and sets something on fire again?
A la Chicago.
A la whatever happened with the Pasha's daughter or whatever. Barbecuing citizens and such.
He apparently has got that under control now.
Sure, that's what all addicts say, right?
I'm a lot older now, Brad. I don't kind of emissions anymore.
You don't have the nocturnal emissions. Well, that's good, I guess. We'll see if it lasts.
All right, so
You usually don't get those back.
I think of the entire party, LaFay is the only one with a Tinder profile.
Well, I mean, look at my new token, man. I'm looking like Fabio and stuff now. So
I was gonna say LaFay, or not LaFay.
I like the suit coat.
Xander looks more like Fabio to me.
Xander,
Xander, yeah.
LaFay looks like Axl Rose.
From West Lafayette, Indiana.
Indeed. I was just there the other night. Saw a concert. I actually
Who'd you see? Who'd you see?
I saw Lauren Dig. All right. So now I'll go back to my original question. Who's going to hold the title to the house?
Well, I guess since I've got citizenship now, I'll hold it.
Is that agreeable to everyone? You're using party funds for the house.
Well, he is paying. Wait. So there was party funds that bought the house?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, but then Ray is paying
look
for
it, and then the business that I started is paying the bills. Currently.
I would say if he's paying the bills, then I'm okay giving him. Can we split the title?
No, they want one person's name.
Yeah, I'm okay with Ray.
Because you don't have a great track record with rogues stealing shit from the party. So
what are you talking about? I've never stolen from the party.
We worry about that later.
Can we put it in a trust? So there's no probate if Ray dies, we don't have to go to probate.
That sounds like a plan.
Two different universes.
I feel like you're making plans about my demise.
Just saying, if something were to happen, some fiery incident, wasn't expected,
I thought you said you had that under control.
He does. That's the problem.
Yeah. This wouldn't be an accident. No.
I'm okay with it going into Ray's name.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense if he's paying, if it's got to be in one person's name and he's paying the bills. I think it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got that settled. I'd like to meet staff.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's time.
Line them all up so we can inspect them.
Line them up. You'll see them soon enough. All right. Those of you with feedback problems, hold tight here.
You'll hear him before you see him. Boots crunching gravel, muttering to himself about bent hinges or the weather turning. That's Garin, the estate's groundskeeper and general fixer of everything.
Bramble went off and the wrong button.
An estate as large as this needs a staff to sustain it. The previous owner fled to Waterdeep under a scandal, leaving the staff with no employment, and they have asked to stay on. Since they are going to be intimately involved in your lives going forward, you need to get to know them. The head of the staff is
I'm doing that for like 2 years.
Tall and lean, with lithe
we're going through narration here, Brad,
and the silent tread of one who spent a lifetime moving unseen. His obsidian skin bears the faint shimmer of enchantment.
Yeah,
a holdover from his life in the Underdark, and his silver-white hair is impeccably tied back in a single braid that falls neatly behind his collar. He wears a high-collared black coat with silver embroidery along the seams. Discreet but elegant. reflecting both his elven heritage and his refined sense of duty. A silver pin shaped like a crescent moon and sword, symbol of Illustrae, is tucked subtly beneath his lapel, visible only when he wishes it to be. In speaking with him, you learn that
Brad, you'll need
Velryn
to
was
mute.
once a
Oh,
weapon
okay, never
steward
mind.
in the house of Benray in Menzoberranzan, skilled in discipline, logistics, and silent efficiency. But deep within, he harbored doubts. In stolen moments beneath the false stars of the Underdark, he would sing to the memory of a moon he had never seen, drawn unknowingly to the worship of Illustrae. When the Drow legions marched against Mithral Hall, Velryn fled under cover of battle, his heart set on the surface, guided by a vision of moonlight and the goddess who called to him. His journey took years and great suffering. He survived in part because he offered no threat and asked only to serve in peace. It was in Silvery Moon, city of learning and light, that he was granted tenuous asylum. But even here, the shadow of his race followed him. Doors closed, opportunities vanished. One house, however, in need of quiet competence and discreet staff, offered him a place, and in that house he has become the silent heart of order, trusted by those who know him, feared by those who don't. Now, Velryn, he's not your average elf. Quiet and intense, yes, but not in that cold, distant way. He listens more than he speaks, and when he does speak, every word feels deliberate, like it's been weighed and measured. He's the kind of person who watches a situation unfold before stepping in, and when he does, it's with precision. There's a calm to him, even when everything's going to hell around him. Some might call it coldness, but those who know him better see it as control, rooted in discipline, not detachment. He's not easily shaken, and he doesn't rattle off jokes or jump into fights without purpose. But don't mistake his stillness for inaction. Velryn thinks carefully before taking action, but when he acts, it's clear he's thought 3 steps ahead. Velryn's no slouch when it comes to combat, but his strength lies in focus and finesse rather than brute force. He's trained hard, and it shows. Every movement, every spell, every strike has intention. He blends martial prowess with arcane ability, using both sword and spell in harmony. He doesn't overwhelm with power, he overwhelms with precision. He's also highly observant. Not much gets past him, whether it's a faint magical aura or a shift in someone's posture during a tense negotiation. Velryn's the one you want keeping watch at night. Eyes sharp, mind sharper. And while he might not seek leadership, people find themselves following him anyway. Something about his quiet confidence just draws others in. He's steady in a storm, the kind of ally who makes you feel like maybe, just maybe, you'll get through this alive. Velryn oversees all household operations. He directs the cook, groundskeeper, laundress, and other attendants with quiet authority. While he appears to never sleep, some believe he meditates in trance only a few hours a night in a secret garden alcove. He does not share gossip, but listens to it all. If the house is ever under threat, physical or political, Velryn is often the first to know.
There's Velryn. I server muted you momentarily, Brad, because
What's his what's his AC and hit point?
He looks.
That's what I really want to know.
Raw.
Well, you can't really ask that. Guess you'll find out if ever he has to find himself in a fight.
They're fighters who have that skill where they can look at a guy and tell what level he is and, that kind of stuff. Not that we have one, but that is a skill in the books.
All right. Billy.
And then there's her. Tilda Tilly Underbow, the housemaid and laundress. So don't let the titles fool you. She's more like the whirlwind soul of the estate, the one who keeps the place spotless and the people in it humble. A halfling woman with wild chestnut curls always pinned almost in place. Tilly is barely 3 feet tall, but she carries herself like she owns the place, which, in matters of dust and disarray, she absolutely does. Make a mess in her hallways, and you'll hear the sharp snap of her feather duster before you get the chance to blink. She's quick with a wink, quicker with a quip, and never shy about voicing exactly what's on her mind.
Valren!
She'll say, arms crossed and one brow raised,
I swear, if you glide past my mop one more time like you're too good for footprints, I'm gluing bells to your boots.
Of course, Velrin never answers her taunts, which only makes her louder. Rumor has it she once replaced all the starch in his collar with itching powder just to get him to twitch. He didn't, but she swears she saw the corner of his mouth almost smirk. Tilly's loyal to the household through and through. She's polite when she wants to be, but direct as a slap when she doesn't. She'll scold you for tracking in mud while helping you off with your boots, and fuss about your laundry while folding it perfectly behind your back. One topic you do well to avoid is her height. She'll remind you, firmly and possibly with a broom to the shin, that she can do anything a tall person can, thank you very much. And if Velrin happens to pluck something from a high shelf in front of her, well, expect her to grumble about show-offs for the next hour. But make no mistake, behind all that sass is someone who cares fiercely. She notices when you're limping. She'll mend a snag in your cloak before you even ask. And if you're crying in a corner, she's the first to plop down beside you with tea, a biscuit, and a gently muttered,
Well, we'll clean that up too, won't we?
All right, moving on to Magda.
if the heart of the home is the kitchen, then Magda is the heartbeat itself. A middle-aged human woman with flour on her apron and laughter in her voice, Magda is as sturdy and warm as her cast-iron stove, plump by her own proud admission and rosy-cheeked from years of standing over bubbling pots. She's got arms made strong from kneading dough and hauling stock pots, and a smile that could soften even Velrin's edges when she's not swatting someone with a wooden spoon. She's cheerful by default, humming old tavern tunes while she chops and stirs, but woe to the soul who sneaks a bite before she rings the dinner bell.
This ain't a tavern.
She'll say, hands on hips.
It's a kitchen. And in my kitchen, you wait until it's done.
Even Tilly gets a sharp look. if she tries to snitch a biscuit too early, though that's never stopped her. Magda rules her domain like a benevolent monarch, firm but fair. She prefers hearty, comforting fare, roasts with garlic and thyme, thick stews that can stand a spoon, and buttery potatoes that never leave the table cold. Her soups cure more ills than magic, and her breakfasts are legendary fluffy eggs, seared ham, and bread so fresh it's still steaming. But when she really wants to impress, it's her baking that makes the staff whisper. Her pastries are golden and delicate, her biscuits so soft they vanish on your tongue, and her pies, oh, her pies, fill the estate with smells that could make a grown knight weep. Apple, cherry, plum, even spiced squash in the colder months, each one crafted with care, crusts crimped just so. Magda doesn't crave praise, but she knows when her food hits the mark.
Eat up.
She'll say, sliding a plate in front of you with a grin.
You ain't no good to anyone on an empty stomach.
And she means it. Her kitchen may be her kingdom, but everyone under its roof is part of her family, even if they do occasionally deserve a ladle to the head.
Lastly, got Garen.
You'll hear him before you see him, boots crunching gravel, muttering to himself about bent hinges or the weather turning. That's Garen, the estate's groundskeeper and general fixer of everything. Garen's a broad-shouldered man in his late 50s, with a thick beard going gray and hands as calloused as old rope. There's a limp in his step, the legacy of some mishap back when he worked the docks along the river. No one talks about it much, and neither does he. But the way he favors one side makes it clear. The heavy lifting days are behind him. Still, he gets the job done. His tools are always sharp, his sheds in order, and not a squeaky hinge or loose shutter escapes his attention for long. He may not move fast anymore, but he moves with purpose. Give him a shovel, a spade, or a busted lantern, and he'll have it sorted by sundown, with maybe a few grumbles about how
nobody respects good ironwork these days.
He's rough around the edges, gruff voice, no-nonsense attitude, and a habit of forgetting to knock, but the rest of the staff respects him. Even Tilly doesn't give him too much lip, not that she doesn't try. And Magda always sets aside an extra slice of pie for him, knowing he'll never ask, but always appreciates it. Garen's the one who tends the gardens, mends the fence, and keeps the estate's bones from falling apart. He doesn't ask for thanks, but if something breaks, you'd best tell him before he finds it himself, or you'll get an earful about
lazy folk and wobbly stair treads.
And if trouble ever came to the estate, old injury or not, Garen'd be the first one grabbing a hammer, not to fix, but to fight.
That's the estate staff. One other person to meet real quick. Guy that
The soft jingle of a coin pouch announces him before his boots ever hit the floor. A flash of color. Purple waistcoat, golden cravat, far too polished boots. Steps out from the alley, beside the market square.
Well, well, would you look at this? If it isn't the fabled champions of Silvery Moon, wandering about without so much as a merchant contract in place. Tragic, really, but fixable.
The gnome grins, hands splayed as if presenting a play. He's short, even for his kind, but everything about him demands attention. The feather in his hat, the glint in his eye, the speed of his tongue.
Name's Quibbly Knackle. Friends call me Quick Deal, strangers call me Quick Deal, rivals call me How the hell did he sell that to me for twice the asking price?
He hops up onto a bench, nearly spilling the scroll case strapped across his back.
I've got contacts in Everland, clients in Sunderbar, and a vendor's permit that, we don't talk about in polite company. You've got goods, I've got charisma, and I don't take a cut unless I move product.
He pauses, adjusts his spectacles, and grins.
What do you say? Want to make a little gold while the city sleeps?
There's the staff. Shall we to get on to seeing the mansion?
Sure. So Quibbly is a paid employee.
Works for the business that Ray and Connery, I guess to some, but the one that basically pays for maintenance of the house. He's the merchant. He takes the wares in a cart, takes them over to the market, sells the wares over there.
Got it.
Why? A couple questions here. So, why do they all sound Southern? And then, why does the kitchen staff not wear
Not wear what?
shoes? He was barefoot walking around the kitchen. That's not.
Well,
that's,
the maid is a halfling, so they don't usually wear shoes.
well, she could wash her feet. They look pretty dirty in the picture.
She's not cooking with her
feet ain't
feet.
touching the food.
But
Why does it matter?
The cook, she's toe jams all over the kitchen. That shit fucking
No,
flies
there's
through the
no-
air.
There's
I'll
no.
buy her. I'll buy her a pair of shoes. We'll call it a bonus.
All right. Take 2 gold off.
2 gold for a pair of shoes? I don't.
Now you got high quality cook shoes.
They're not high
Well,
quality.
the cook's
and
human.
shoes.
She has the cook probably has shoes.
Well, yeah. Ask her to wear some when she's at work.
Oh, that
Wow.
that was
Alright.
your takeaway.
That was my takeaway.
Enough of that.
I'm glad we
She wear no shoes.
spent 2 minutes on that.
We'll never get those 2 minutes back.
Hey guys, I'll be home here in about 10 minutes, but I'm listening in and
I'm sorry to hear you have to listen in on that, Matt.
But why
right, I'll
not?
see you
I
guys
mean, that's a sanitation thing. On top of self-respect, you know.
You realize we're talking about a house that doesn't have a refrigerator, and you're worried about feet.
I mean, you know, I realize that you may think it's fine for a woman to stay barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, but not all think that way, huh? See,
You're,
turn that
you're
on you there.
projecting. Quit projecting.
I mean,
All right,
you're
let's
more
bring out the
upset about
house,
the feet
Howard.
having no shoes than my character model having 3 fingers and having my hands joined together on the 3rd finger.
I didn't look that closely. You're so far down, it's hard for me to see.
All right, so this is the mansion.
says the shortest guy in the group.
Xander's not short.
That was Brad.
Yeah, he's making a real world crack is what he's trying to do.
So, if you notice when you without selecting your character, when you hover over the roof, it's going to reveal things underneath it. This is a multi-layered map. It actually is on 3 different levels, counting the roof. So to navigate it, there are stairs that you can go up and down. But I have kind of descriptions built for each room, and kind of ties it into your.
You got it paused.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go ahead and do.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to let us just wander around.
I got a feeling that's what we're going to end up doing.
Eventually, you can wander the entire place, but I want to show you some of the features. Walk you through.
Wow, it's quite the place, Ray.
Guys,
I got quality. You trusted me to find a place. I found a place.
As you pass through the noble quarter on Silvery Moon's north bank, where the streets grow quieter and the air carries the scent of old trees and fresh-cut gardens, you find yourselves among the estates of the city's wealthy elite. Nestled between the grandeur of the High Palace and the meandering silver ribbon of the Ravin River, a secluded property emerges behind a canopy of mature trees. It does not announce itself, but rather allows itself to be discovered. A
Feeding back,
winding
Brad.
cobblestone path draws your eye forward, flanked by flowering
sorry.
beds
Didn't
and
realize.
lantern posts that flicker gently even in daylight. The manor beyond is set back from the road, partially hidden in dappled light, its curved brick walls wrapping forward on either side like open arms. The structure forms a broad inverted U, its rounded corners lending it a graceful, almost organic shape. The ground floor is fashioned from warm, weathered brick, its arched windows framed in dark-stained wood. Above, the architecture changes character. The second story features decorative wooden beams set into pale plaster, a style often seen in southern Amnian townhouses and villas. It speaks of old money and careful preservation, of form balanced with function. The roof rises steeply, its gables capped by tall stone chimneys that hint at cozy hearths within. Though not massive, the estate bears the quiet confidence of something well made and well cared for. The main entrance, a pair of thick oak doors carved with moons, leaves, and winding vines, rests beneath a shaded awning of wood and ivy. Soft light filters through the high canopy above, casting shifting shadows across the path. This is a house with history, not loud, not showy, but alive. And as you step through the gate, it feels as though the manor is watching and waiting.
So I'm going to unpause, and I'm going to take you through the rooms and talk a little bit about the features of each of the rooms. It is actually Velrin that's going to be giving the tour.
Who?
Velrin.
Oh. That's Scary Elf.
So I think you should be able to take control of your character and move.
No, I'm not able to. Game still paused.
I did unpause it. I'm sorry. So as you step underneath an awning, you should see that it disappears for you. Step into the door. Step into the atrium.
Wow.
The double doors open into a vast chamber where sound echoes softly over stone and silk. At its heart, a grand marble fountain rises from the floor like a blooming flower. 4 curved basins forming a clover shape around a central plinth, from which crystal clear water flows in serene streams. The gentle sound fills the space with a calming cadence, a quiet heartbeat for the estate. The hall is clad in polished wood panels, warm and dark as walnut, interrupted only by narrow alcoves lit with golden sconces. The floor beneath your feet is draped in a plush sapphire carpet, its embroidered pattern shifting with moonlight and starlight motifs, an homage to Silvery Moon's mystic roots. 4 slender stone pillars rise near the fountain, their carved capitals depicting seasonal scenes: spring flowers, summer flames, autumn leaves, and winter's frost, each standing sentinel at a point of the room's cardinal lines. They lend the hall a quiet reverence, suggesting both strength and permanence. Nestled in 2 of the far corners are elegant peacock chairs, each made of finely woven wicker and shaped with tall, fan-like backs that resemble the regal plume of their namesake. Decorative throws and embroidered cushions soften their appearance, making them a graceful place to rest and observe. On each side of the hall, standing in the shadows between the doors to each wing, are 4 suits of gleaming armor. Though clearly ceremonial, each is unique, crafted in different regional styles, from Silvery Moon's shining steel to the matte black curve of Netherese design. Their visors stare silently across the hall, their gauntlets resting on the pommels of upright swords. 2 grand spiral staircases of dark wood curl upward to the second floor like sculpted vines, flanking the fountain and disappearing into shadowed landings above. Just beside the entry, a small marble table holds a guest ledger, its pages crisp and blank, beside a crystal inkwell and a silver feather quill poised in anticipation. A soft magical hum seems to linger in the air, as if the house itself were listening, attentive, alert, and aware.
Hey, Howard.
Yeah.
If you bring up the when you bring up the image,
head out there, Jason.
If when you bring up the image of a room, like I closed it, am I able to open that back up again, or do you have to do that again?
No, I'm actually going to send that up to you, so you can do that from. These are in the player Silvery. I will pop them up. We're gonna head down the east. Or into cooperate. Lagging for.
I can't seem to move either.
I don't know if the server is lagging or I'm lagging. Must be the server if you can't. Can anyone else move?
I'm yes, I can move. I can move.
Well, let me refresh.
Are other people moving and I'm just not seeing it?
I can move and I am moving.
I'm
I can-
upstairs.
I'm just moving inside the room.
Well, I was going down the east wing to the parlor.
Well, it put me outside again.
I don't
But
know
now I'm moving.
what's causing the lag.
You're talking about this? I'm in a room right now. To the east, yeah, I can see.
I took the stairs up. I'm upstairs.
Well, come back down.
Stay with
Yeah.
the party there.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, I see. What's his name? The butler, Velmer, whatever his name is.
Elrond.
Velrin, yeah. So I'm in the parlor with Velrin.
Valdemir.
I don't see you in the parlor.
I'm there. I'm there with. I gotta remember people's names again in this.
Well, there's a
what's
cheat
your name, Brad?
Cheat sheet in the lower left-hand
Xander.
corner.
Yeah, I'm with Xander. Wait, cheat sheet where? Oh yeah, I got you. I'm with Xander and Ray.
I'm gonna refresh.
Yeah, I did, and it worked.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
We got you.
You're there, Matt. We hear you.
Yep, I'm back.
Cool. How was the service?
I'll just sum it up that it didn't really need to happen tonight, but due to the nature of the relationship, it needed to happen tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, hopefully you made some good overtime.
Made some what?
Good overtime.
Way to go.
Oh yeah. Is that what are you drinking there, Jason? Oh, look good.
The Polliner Hefeweiss.
Oh, that sounds good. Yep.
It's really good.
They make a good Hefeweizen.
They do. It's actually it's my favorite. Yeah.
Oh.
How's the pale ale?
I don't think Pollender makes a pale ale.
Yeah, no, it's all German style. They make a Dunkel and
yeah, they make a Bock, I think.
Bock, yeah.
Bunch
All
of
good
fucking
stuff.
Bunch of beer snobs.
Damn right, I'm a beer snob.
It's called maturity, Brad.
Give me my Bush Light, and I'm good.
Yeah.
I was looking back at the pictures, Brad, of of our high school and early college days, and I think I had a Bush in my hand like every single picture. That was definitely my beer. Now, if I smell one, I think I might throw up.
You know, I remember a lot of Old Mill Chalkies. You know, like Brad Wilson's place. It was Old Mill Chalkies and hams.
Schlitz.
No, I think Schlitz was too cool. It was too expensive back then. Because Schlitz was the shit in like the 70s.
Schlitz was a cheap beer in Alaska. So was Olympia. The Oldies.
Olympic's not bad. I remember we drank Olympic Light one time. It seemed all right to me.
First beer I got sick on was Schlitz. So yeah, bad memories of Schlitz.
And Rainier. That was another cheap
I thought
beer.
Schlitz was a noise you made when it came out.
Yeah, no, Rainier. We never near in Indiana. That's like Northwest beer.
PBR was big.
Yeah, PBR was. Schlitz malt liquor. Love those commercials.
Yeah.
I've never had a Champagne Velvet. Have you guys had the Champagne Velvet?
Yeah, Terre Haute Brewing is, resurrected it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right.
I think I'm
That was the
missing.
number one beer in America, 1940 or something.
I think I'm missing.
I think it was better
Ferris
when it first came out, when they reintroduced
Which
it, but
way did
not after.
everybody go?
in the East Wing.
To the east.
East
Yeah,
wing.
I'm in the parlor with Velmer.
He did it with the candlestick in the parlor.
Yeah.
All right, I'm on my way over there.
And
Conry's here, Ray's here, Xander's here. I don't see Anna.
I'm not sure how I ended up on the roof.
Don't jump. Don't jump.
How'd you manage that?
I don't know.
And look, there's a piano. Anna.
Is this a door or is that a window also?
Those are.
Okay.
All right. I reloaded. It was dogging. I think I could.
Oh, pardon me. God.
Glad we got that on the stream.
I've been having a problem lately.
All right. So here, parlor.
Is there a narrator or are we just reading this?
There's a narrator. Gotcha.
Do we need to go on mute?
As you step into the parlor, the air changes, calmer, warmer, touched
right
by the
back.
scent of aged wood, fresh polish, and a faint trace of exotic spice. Sunlight trickles through leaded glass windows, casting colored diamonds across the rug beneath your boots. A lavish tapestry of deep reds, teals, and cream, spun into a floral medallion. The hearth crackles quietly with orange firelight, inviting repose. Plush chairs of crimson leather and sapphire velvet gather around the room like expectant hosts. A grand piano rests against the far wall, its polished lid open slightly, almost whispering to Anna, "Play." You can already imagine her there, pipa slung across her back, one foot curled under her as she strikes up a melody to lift the evening mood or soften a tense silence. Nearby, a carved table gleams with bottles of the world's finest spirits, Evermed from Everesca, Tashlutan spiced rum, blood wine from Thay, fire wine from Amn, each a chapter in the party's journey, a taste of distant lands, now brought home. At the central rug, the battle chess board awaits. You can imagine Conry already seated, arms crossed and brow furrowed as he stares down the pieces, while Xander lounges across from him, his expression unreadable, but eyes twinkling with quiet defiance. The match will last hours, and neither will give ground easily. By the hearth, you visualize that Rot is already there, massive, curled, protective, and serene. Pharos kneels beside him, his hand resting gently between the beast's ears, lost in thought or simply present, breathing in the peace they've fought so hard to earn. And Ray? This will be his domain, too. You can see it now, leaning against the piano, drink in hand, spinning some clever tale for the well-to-do of Silvery Moon, charm thick in the air, the scent of coin and connections wafting just behind it. Yes, this is more than a room. It's a stage, a sanctuary, a symbol of how far you've come, and a place to gather strength before whatever comes next.
So, just FYI, the parlor is typically the place that if you're going to host somebody, negotiate. Where you go. Up on the left, there's the library. It is not a large room. I have trouble getting everyone in once.
So we're just going due west.
The door opens with a soft creak, revealing a compact chamber of deep wood, warm lamplight, and quiet purpose. A small library, but not a modest one. The walls are wrapped with tall bookcases, each shelf neatly stocked with carefully bound tomes. The spines gleam in rows of burgundy, emerald, and midnight blue, stamped with sigils and gilded letters in dozens of scripts. It smells of parchment, ink, and old candle wax, like knowledge waiting to be disturbed. A heavy reading chair waits beside a circular table where several books lie open. One reveals a map, inked with coastal trade routes. Another a study of arcane sigils partially obscured by a magnifying lens. By the stained glass window, a lectern holds an illuminated volume that flickers with just a trace of enchantment, its pages never fading, no matter how long they're left to the sun. You get the sense this place is not meant for display but for use, practical, thoughtful, and organized. These are no collector's pieces. These are tools, guides, records, memoirs of adventurers long since turned to ash. It's easy to imagine Conry here, cross-legged in study, learning draconic phrases, or Xander reviewing plainer texts, trying to reconcile the whispers of his patron with the rationality of ink and paper. Ray might find leads in merchant registries or old court records, each one a clue toward a greater scheme. Even Lefay, quiet and focused, could find here a rare druidic scroll describing beasts long lost from the world. The library is small, but it knows things. And if you're willing to listen, it might just tell you something important.
All right, at the north end of the hall, find ourselves shop.
I noticed that like all of these things,
You step into
this one doesn't, I guess, but they end like mid-sentence. Yeah, all the descriptions they end like in mid-sentence.
Not seeing. Is anyone else seeing what Rad's?
Are you saying the audio ends mid-sentence?
Yeah, the audio ends too because there's nothing. But let me.
Oh, I haven't had that issue yet.
Let's see. That is under. What would you say that was under? Journals.
Yeah, so it's going to be journal, player handouts, location descriptions, Silvery Moon.
Oh, okay. Oh, I don't see. Okay, so I see
Player handouts.
player handouts. Yeah, all I got's under player handouts. All I got is the Saga of the March Confederates.
And
you don't have
handout pages brings up the Creighton Manor.
Okay, so it's under handout pages.
No.
Okay. And then
I can just.
it's not important. I don't want to drag things out. It was just something I noticed on a couple of those. The text on the sheet stopped, and so did the reading. Stopped on the same word. Didn't finish the thought or whatever.
Let me know if you see it again.
Okay, we'll do.
So everyone got the Brewers Workshop?
You
No, I
step
don't.
into a low-lit chamber of polished wood and
I may have
warm
closed it to
stone.
look for
Its
the
air
thing.
heady
There we
with
go.
a strange harmony of scents, fresh herbs, bitter roots, and the faintest trace of sweetened ether. The walls are lined with shelves of gleaming glassware, from squat flasks to narrow vials, all filled with liquids in impossible colors,
I'm
deep
not hearing anything
violet,
again.
shimmering blue, luminous green. A few gently bubble, others glow faintly from within. To the left, a black stone workbench is strewn with the
I
tools
don't
of the
think it's
craft.
playing yet.
Yeah, it's
Alembics,
playing.
brass pincers, a mortar still dusted with pale powder, and a wide brass scale with weights perfectly balanced. A purple-stemmed orchid unfurls near the edge, its petals pulsing faintly as if
I'm not
reacting to
hearing it.
the unseen energies in the room.
Maybe I need to refresh again.
But it is the machine in the
But
far corner
the
that
brewer-
I'm not
commands
hearing
the
it.
eye.
I'm not hearing it either.
An impressive brass.
Oh, was anyone hearing it?
Yeah, I was.
I was hearing it.
I heard it once I had turned my music down, and then so I turned it back up, and then I heard it.
I turned everything to max when everybody was looking at me like, "You're crazy. It's playing," and still didn't hear anything. But maybe I need to refresh. I had to do that before. Maybe I need to do it again.
Yeah, why don't you try that? I'm not going to restart the audio on that one. If you guys want to read text there, have it. I was go ahead and last room.
Can I finish this one?
Yeah. We'll wait while Brad.
Should we be moving to the
Yeah. If you just follow
appropriate room?
follow Velrun, I'm just
Okay.
Can you pull up that Brewers thing for me right quick? Okay.
I like this particular the Brewers Workshop. I kind of like that one. Where are we going next?
Armory.
Which is
Last
Yeah.
last room. Brad, have you successfully refreshed? Off.
I did. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Everyone with me now?
Yeah.
Armory narration is I don't understand. Went through the process.
Yeah, see, this is another one where the text just ends. What was once a blank.
Oh wow, that's not doing that for
As you
me.
step through the heavy door into
Really?
the repurposed storeroom, you're struck by the scent of oiled leather and old wood mingling with the faint metallic tang of polished steel. The walls, once bare and utilitarian, now gleam with wooden paneling and tasteful sconces casting golden light across an eclectic mix of weapons and training gear. A full suit of armor stands sentinel near the entrance, half guardian, half decoration. Nearby, racks hold sparring blades and blunted staves, while a worn target leans against the far wall, its rings already marked with clustered punctures from arrowheads. The tiled floor gives way to a cushioned mat, pale and broad, clearly laid down for drills and sparring matches. You can imagine Conry, solemn and focused, practicing the forms of the old order with precise, meditative grace. Perhaps later he'll offer instruction to any willing to brave a bruising. In foul weather, this room would become Pharos' fallback for archery. He'll string his bow, take a few paces back, and loose shafts into the waiting bullseye with quiet determination. His wolf companion, Rod, could watch from the doorway, and no doubt his head would tilt as if judging each shot. And then, of course, there's Anna. When the room is quiet, she might slip in, barefoot, Peepa resting nearby, and let her body move through a silent rehearsal, dance steps echoing gently across the tile. No doubt you can imagine Ray walking in unexpectedly and stand frozen for several moments, spellbound before offering a slow clap and a rakish grin. There's something alive in this room now, a rhythm of movement, discipline, and expression. What was once a forgotten storeroom has become a space where bodies sharpen, hearts speak, and camaraderie grows.
That's the lower east wing. Move into the west wing. First door on the right.
As you step into the study, the scent of old parchment and polished oak fills your nostrils. The room is stately but not ostentatious, each piece of furniture carefully chosen for function as much as form. The heavy wooden desk is worn at the edges, its surface scattered with scrolls, ledgers, and a curious brass bowl etched with runes. A tall back chair rests behind it, slightly askew as if recently vacated. To one side, nestled snugly in the corner, stands a reinforced iron safe, its filigree etched with dwarven craftsmanship and arcane locking runes. Ray, of course, has already solved its secrets, and though he'll never admit how long it took him, the lock now opens to his practiced touch. It holds coin, contracts, and the more sensitive correspondence that can't be trusted to any simple strong box. Above the desk hangs a painting in hues of deep silver and moonlit blue, an enchanted depiction of Seluna's meadow at night. Anna commissioned the piece from a local artist, using her own memories and performance notes to guide every stroke. The moon in the painting shifts subtly, illuminating the mushrooms and flora below as if the scene were alive, and for some, the illusion even seems to whisper. The stone floor beneath the desk is covered by a plush oval rug. Those with a sharp eye or perhaps an idle toe might notice the slight rise at its center, just enough to betray the outline of a concealed hatch. Hidden beneath it is a trapdoor, cleverly designed and seamlessly cut into the stonework. It leads to the root cellar below, but who's to say it won't one day serve as an escape route or a vault for something far more dangerous? I can imagine Ray will sit here to pore over the group's ledgers, Zed's letters, or the coded messages from the invisible hand, and Anna may join him, reading in the moonlight of the painted meadow, her soft melodies drifting down the hall. The room hums with secrets, some spoken, most not, and it waits quietly for its next midnight visitor.
So Velvin does point out one restroom on the right, description of it, but he does say that this is the one that the guests use, and politely ask that you try to keep it in order. Otherwise, we can move down into the dining room.
I was going to say, but I was muted. I don't suppose we could look down through that trap door and see how big that room is.
Oh, you will. You want to do that now since we're here? We can go out of order. That's fine.
If you got it scheduled, we'll just wait until you got it scheduled.
Oh, that's all right. So to use the trap door, you're going to need to step into the end of the rug. You should get a prompt. Take the stairs down.
Hey, Howard, I can't seem to move.
Head out there, Jay. Can't what?
I can't seem to move LaFay for some reason.
Might need to.
Well, on my screen, I saw the downstairs room, and then it just turned all gray hexes. Was everybody else seeing it okay?
I'm refreshing, so I'm not sure.
I see it okay.
Okay, I guess I need to refresh too.
There's some like coordinates.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what it is. It's over Ferris. It says he's minus 9.9999998 feet instead of 10 feet.
Stand still.
And somebody else is minus. Let's see what if Ferris would move. Somebody else is 10.002 feet below.
I'm minus 20 feet now.
We're in the ground for some reason. Why is it?
It did it again. It came up and it showed it, and then it all went gray.
What's your elevations?
Mine's the one that says minus 10.002.
Oh, now minus 40.
It just keeps going down.
There we go. Now I'm back up in the original room.
There we go.
Oh, there I am.
All right, let me see if I can get Xander. I've lost track of Xander.
He's right in the middle of the room.
Why didn't this have an exit into the kitchen? Because isn't that where we use this?
House wasn't designed that way. What can I say?
I don't think it's meant to store food.
That's what's down there, isn't it?
All right. I think I fixed Xander. I don't know why
Yep.
you guy gets his rounding errors. Who else is not in the root cellar?
I'm not in the root cellar.
Where is everybody? I see Rot. I see Conry moving. Okay.
Rot's upstairs from me.
We're supposed to take the trap door?
Yeah. I don't know where Conry wandered off to.
I see what
Right
you're
here.
saying, Matt, because it's a root cellar.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a trapdoor room, but need to get that shoeless house cook out down here.
The root cellar beneath the manor is cool, earthy,
Lots of
and
people feeding
dimly
back.
lit by hanging lanterns. Rows of shelves line the walls, heavy with cured meats, sacks of grain, preserved vegetables, and wheels of cheese. Loaves of bread rest alongside jars of pickled roots and spices, filling the air with a mingling aroma of yeast, vinegar, and earth. Two great casks dominate one corner, one holding ale and the other a sweet cider, while racks of bottles display a surprisingly refined collection of wines from across Faerun, from the deep reds of Amn to the crisp whites of the Moonshae Isles. At first glance, it seems no more than a well-stocked storage cellar, but hidden entrances give it another purpose. The trapdoor beneath the office floor opens down into this chamber, and a second hatch outside by the west wall provides a discreet escape. For Ray, it is an invaluable route in and out of the manor, letting him come and go without ceremony or scrutiny. To the rest of the household, it is simply where the provisions are kept. But to him, it is as much a passage of opportunity as a larder of necessity.
All right, back up through.
As you push open the heavy double doors, you step into the manor's grand dining hall, its warmth and elegance a welcome contrast to the cold stone of the outside world. Rich, paneled walls of dark wood enclose a long polished table set with gleaming pewter goblets and plates of fine ceramic. High above, the ceiling is vaulted and beamed, supporting wrought iron chandeliers whose candlelight dances softly across the room. The air carries a faint scent of rosemary and old oak. This is not just a place for meals. It is a room meant for diplomacy, laughter, and the company of allies. To one side, a smaller service table waits with pitchers and a silver carafe ready for the next feast. It's easy to imagine Ray hosting nobles from Silvery Moon here, weaving deals between courses. Or perhaps Anna standing at the head of the table, telling stories with gestures so vivid that even the wine might lean in to listen. Despite the grandeur, there's a quiet intimacy in the space, as if it waits patiently to be filled with memory.
Just off the dining room is the kitchen.
Hold on, let me catch up. I'm still in the cellar. Well, I guess play this because I hate to close these things until the thing is over, but go ahead. Just run it.
The warm scent of hearth-baked bread and slow-simmering stew draws you into the manor's bustling kitchen. A broad clay oven glows softly in the corner, its stone mouth ringed with soot from morning fires. An iron stove crackles nearby, with pots gently bubbling atop it. Rows of ceramic spice jars line a shelf, each marked with initials and sealed with wax. At the central table, ripe produce and earthenware vessels are arranged with casual efficiency. Silver hooks by the door hold ladles and knives, well used but polished clean. From beyond the archway, the pantry shelves are visible, stacked with loaves, cheeses, and hanging meats. At the center of it all is Magda, the manor's cook and matron of the hearth. With her sleeves rolled and a wooden spoon in hand, she works with the practiced rhythm of someone who knows the heart of a home is fed with both fire and care. She glances up briefly as you enter, her nod curt but kind, before returning to a pot that demands her attention. This is her domain, where nourishment begins and gossip is stirred as often as soup.
And we could briefly just go on the dining room, servants' quarters.
I think I gotta refresh again. So it's not letting me move my token. So.
Any questions while Brad's refreshing? I will make one comment. Whenever you click on one of those doors, everyone hears it. Not just for
And if you let loose in the bathroom, everyone will hear it. Come out, everybody's staring at you.
So what room are we in now?
We're in the servants' quarter. I'll describe it here in a second. I'm just waiting on Brad to get back in.
Okay, I lost you guys. I don't know where you're at. I was.
So go south through the dining room.
I see it. I got you. Yeah, I got you.
Tucked behind the bustle of the manor's finer halls lies a modest chamber of simple comforts. 2 sturdy bunks with neatly tucked linens, a shelf of folded cloth, and the soft creak of a spinning wheel resting between chores. A woven basket sits beside a stool, half full of laundry, yet to be done. This is the servants' quarters, shared by Magda and Tilly, the quiet heartbeat of the household. Sunlight filters gently through the wooden lattice of the high windows, casting a warm glow across the tidy stone floor. As you step in, you catch the soft hum of a tune. Tilly, a halfling woman with quick fingers and kind eyes, is perched by the window, mending a length of curtain with careful stitches. She startles slightly at your presence, then offers a shy smile before returning to her work. This small space, though humble, speaks of pride and diligence, an engine of care behind the scenes.
So there is another door through the servants' quarters, which is private bath. Rot hanging out hallway for. So if you return back to the center of the house, we'll go up western staircase. Put your icon on the word stairs. It should prompt you to up below. One thing I'll point out to you.
I gotta refresh again. I got stuck. I put my token, slid it over, and it got on the fountain. It gave me that, your path is blocked by something, and then it just locked. I can't move my token again.
Which stairways are we going up? Oh, here we go.
So I kind of wondered if the animation was going to be a problem. Why I wanted.
Oh, I'm in two places at once.
How's that?
I'm in two places at once.
How is that?
Now I'm in three places at once.
Split personality.
Well, stop it.
I'm multiplying.
His angry self is in the dining room.
Oh, I'm in the dining room too?
No, I just threw that out there. I have no idea.
So I guess I got to reload too.
So
there we go. Now I'm back.
I did keep getting this error message that talks about the screen resolution. It says that Foundry as a screen requires a minimum screen resolution of 1024 by 700 or greater, and my display currently has an effective resolution of 1389 by 644. As a result, many features of the software may not work properly.
Change your desktop resolution.
Man, I don't even know how to do that. What is that? Just on the.
So if you right click on your desktop and hit. Who is slamming the door?
It's just, I couldn't hear a thing when I did it.
I didn't hear it either.
Yeah. Rifling through people's rooms.
So it says 1920 by 1080.
Okay. Well, it must be scaling or doing something to cause your.
I think I found my room.
I do have it. I bet I have it zoomed in. I'll try.
You guys could just. Running around like you're on crack.
I'm waiting for people to go up the stairs or not go up the stairs, but they're just standing at the bottom of the stairs.
Well, I was waiting on Brad.
Not you.
I can't get up the stairs. I keep trying and it won't let me. And then, now,
No,
now
man,
I'm
we got half an hour
completely
left, and we haven't actually done anything but a tour.
Say what?
All right, I'm
I said
upstairs.
we've got half an hour left, and we haven't even finished a tour.
I know. Well, I was worried about these technical problems. They strip out all the enemy. Strip out all the audio. Facial audio. So should be able to. I think what people are crashing when they.
I just can't get up the stairs. I'm frozen at the stairs. And I can't even move away from him.
Ooh.
Actually, I did. Now I'm able to move away.
Yeah, I'm taking
There,
control.
for a second it went, and then it went back.
Got you up there.
Okay, I don't see it.
I want to go up, right?
Right.
Is there a fountain upstairs too?
No, that's you're looking down. You can see it. It's like a balcony.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm up there now. Okay.
Matt, if you could quit clicking doors so we could have a conversation, I'd appreciate it.
Oh, I hadn't heard it since.
Every time you click a door,
I opened that one.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it either, but Howard does.
I got all my volume up too. I just checked.
It's probably because we're not where he's opening the door, so Howard can hear it. But I would think Matt could.
All right. Do I have?
I didn't hear it till that very last one.
All right. Do I have everyone upstairs?
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Well,
I went out the window.
Yeah, I think you do.
I think what I'm going to do. A moment. To.
Well, I liked the animation.
I did too, but Brad's had to reset his browser.
Yeah, I understand that part of it.
I think his Christmas lights are disrupting his internet.
Yeah. I remember making that wonderful. I made this wonderful huge map one time, and it's what caused me to have so much frustration with this thing, because I couldn't even, it wouldn't even load in the Forge. I was so upset. The beautiful multi-layered map with all kinds of stuff.
Size matters, Matt.
Yep. Yeah, I was too huge. Sorry.
All right. So we go into the West Wing. We'll go to the first room on the right.
Oh, it's a beautiful room.
It's a greenhouse, huh?
This is my kind of room.
Yeah. I like this.
All right, Connery, get off me.
Where are you?
Not you, Ray.
Ray, okay. Sorry, I bumped into Anna.
LaFee's room sits quietly in the northwest corner of the manor's west wing, nestled on the second floor where it catches the faintest trace of wind through the open windows. At first glance, it seems the forest itself has been invited inside. The wooden floor is completely overgrown with soft moss and a scattering of leaf litter, while creeping vines stretch along the walls and hang from high beams, thick with small fruits and blooming flowers. Ferns, mushrooms, and sylvan herbs sprout from pots, cracks, and corners, cultivated with care, yet allowed to grow freely. There is no bed, only a mat laid where the moss is thickest, where Lafitte often rests, wrapped in the comforting scent of earth and rain. A fairy light, gifted by Lila Mosslash herself, hangs gently from the ceiling, casting a soft violet glow that shifts with Lafayette's thoughts and keeps firelight at bay. When the group claimed the manor, Lafay sought out Priestess Thalanil Miralyn, druid of the moonlight glade, to enchant the room and make it a place of harmony with the old faith. She answered his request with reverence, embedding fey runes into the baseboards and awakening the room to follow the rhythm of the seasons. In spring, new growth curls from the corners. In summer, fruit ripens and vines stretch. In autumn, golden leaves tumble across the floor. And in winter, the room stills in quiet hibernation. The magic makes no noise, yet the space hums with a living serenity, a haven Lafay has come to treat not merely as a room, but as sacred ground.
So I've got to say, with these new accommodations, I'm sure there's much point in continuing any adventure. We're just gonna hang out here all the whole time. That'll be it.
Okay, so you think, you can ignore all the problems that are happening in the Moonwood and the Silverwood and
Yeah, well, yeah. Look at this room, man. Why would I go any?
all right, if you want to step into Ferris's room, please. The next room south.
Don't touch anything.
Pharos' chamber reflects the duality of his life, both the wildness of the forest and the scars of survival. The wooden walls are adorned with hunting trophies, not as brash displays of conquest, but as quiet reminders of the creatures he has studied, tracked, and faced. A large bear pelt sprawls across the floor before the hearth, its presence both rugged and solemn, as though honoring the beast as much as it warms the room. On cold nights, I can imagine that Rot, the spirit wolf bound to him, might sometimes be seen curled upon the rug, keeping silent vigil beside his master. The furnishings are sparse. A narrow bed draped in a simple blanket, a sturdy chest at its foot holding the few possessions he values, and a leather chair positioned to keep watch over the door and window alike. The desk is functional, scarred with small nicks from blades sharpened there, and scattered with notes and sketches of the natural world. His attempts to preserve knowledge the way his mentor once did for him. Though the room is orderly, it carries a lived-in air, the smell of wood smoke, leather, and pine lingering faintly. For Pharos, this room is less a place of comfort and more a stronghold of preparation, a reminder that the hunt never truly ends.
Last room in the west wing.
Anna's room, nestled in the manor's west wing, is a reflection of her dual nature, both performer and quiet soul. The richly colored rug spread across the center of the chamber is more than decoration. It is her rehearsal floor. Here, Anna practices her dances, letting her movements carry stories she cannot always speak. The fireplace glows warmly in the evenings, its light casting soft shadows that flicker across her violin, pipa, and other instruments resting on a low table nearby. A carved chest at the foot of her bed holds silks and performance attire, while a plush violet chair and stool provide a place for her to compose verses or softly pluck at strings when inspiration finds her. Against the far wall, a finely crafted vanity gleams with the soft glow of candlelight. On production days, Anna sits before its polished mirror, carefully applying makeup, braiding her hair, and preparing to transform herself into the elegant storyteller the stage demands. The paintings upon the walls, a woman in crimson and a sweeping landscape, remind her both of grace and of journeys yet to come. Though the room is warm and comfortably appointed, it is also tinged with Anna's restraint. Her touch is careful, her belongings neatly arranged, much like her demeanor. And yet, when she rehearses alone, the chamber seems to come alive, the air stirring with the faint echo of music and the grace of a bard whose art is as much a shield as it is a gift.
So there is no narration for the last room in the West Wing, bath. Only bathroom. Those who want a bath from the East Wing have to trek across to the we will go. Phase room.
The room is warm and refined, the scent of old wood and fire smoke mingling in the air. All the furnishings, bed, desk, wardrobe, and carved chairs, are scaled for a halfling, though no comfort is sacrificed for size. The hearth crackles softly, casting flickers of light across the elegant rug and the statue of Timora that stands with quiet grace near the foot of the bed, with a silver coin resting in the statue's hand. A brass-bound safe rests discreetly behind the hearth, and those with a keen eye might notice that one wall panel hides more than just timber. It masks a secret passage leading straight into Conry's quarters. It's clear Ray has curated this room with purpose. On the desk, an inkwell and several scrolls are neatly arranged beside coded ledgers and a dagger concealed beneath a loose paper. A silken rope, coiled beneath the window with a grappling hook affixed, suggests plans for fast exits or quiet returns under cover of night. Everything here, from the concealed paths to the halfling-sized comforts, whispers of a life balanced between civility and secrets.
You have two ways you can take to get to Conry's room. If you take the
I I couldn't catch that. What was
The
that?
scent of incense and aged parchment lingers in the air as you step into this austere chamber. its simplicity reflecting Conry's disciplined soul. A wide mat rests near the window, its surface worn smooth from countless morning katas and meditative poses. Above it hangs a striking portrait of Master Dragok, stern and resolute, his eyes seeming to assess Conry's every motion in silent judgment. A modest bed sits in the corner beside a traveling trunk packed neatly, ever ready, as if Conry might be called to duty at a moment's notice. Against the far wall stands a heavy writing desk cluttered with scrolls, journals, and half-preserved specimens, remains of beasts fought and studied, now destined to become teaching aids for the next generation of the old order. The glint of bone catches your eye, the carefully cleaned skull of a wormling dragon, purchased for anatomical study. Just behind the desk, nearly invisible to the untrained eye, a concealed panel hides a secret passage leading to Ray's room, a subtle reminder that even the most disciplined warrior values trust and connection among allies.
Secret door and slip out into the hallway and go one room south. Anders.
I can't move, but I'm not going to
I move you.
listen to the description.
Will you move? Where'd you leave off?
I'm in the
Try
middle there.
selecting your character again.
I actually have two icons like you had before.
And it fixed itself. Hey, this room's bigger. What's going on here?
There it goes. It's going. And let me see where you're at here.
Well, Ray's kind of standing outside the door of your room.
Okay.
Xander's room reflects a life of discipline and duality. Everything is in order, bed tightly made, desk aligned precisely with the window, boots placed side by side near the hearth. Years in the War Wizard's Academy instilled in him a sense of structure, and his room mirrors that structure to the letter. But even amidst the order, signs of the path he walks now peek through. On the wall hangs a painting of the Vault of the Sages, capturing the moment the party met Lady Tagarda, an image of knowledge and duty. Nearby, a soft painting of Lyriel, the unicorn, evokes the gentler memories of their travels. On his desk lie several pages of sketches drawn with a firm but thoughtful hand. They depict strange arcane sigils, celestial constellations, and a spiral pattern that appears in his dreams, symbols tied to the mysterious entity that grants him his warlock powers. Though he has yet to fully understand its motives, he studies the markings with the same intensity he once gave to his military tomes. A faint flicker in the fireplace casts shifting shadows on one particular parchment. Its ink seems to shimmer in the light, as if resisting interpretation. For now, the room holds its secrets as tightly as Xander holds his.
Lastly, there is a small bathroom over here. It does have a tub. Down tub. but I want to go ahead and step into Velrin's room, actually beyond the back.
Whose room?
Velrin's.
Oh, okay.
Through a narrow passage tucked behind the eastern bath, a modest door opens into a room not originally meant to be a room at all. Once part of a grand lavatory, this space has been cordoned off to serve as Velrin's private quarters, though not without cost. Access is only possible through the now cramped bathroom, leading to the occasional awkward standoff as Velrin waits, silent and still, for the room to clear. The space itself is functional and disciplined as befits the house's fastidious steward. There is no bed, drow do not sleep, and instead a carved desk dominates the floor, strewn with ledgers, payroll scrolls, and half-filled receipts. A plush reading chair sits beside a low table, bearing a record book of household events and a well-worn bell register. Mounted to the walls are several polished brass bells, each tuned to ring from a different corner of the estate when his attention is required. In the far corner, a valet dummy bears his formal butler attire. A high-collared cloak and black-stitched hood, hung and ready for service at a moment's notice.
There you go. That is the Confederate mansion.
Very cool.
So,
Yeah, I like it.
like I said, this is a 3D map. Look out a window. Looking at elevation, things close to the window on the second floor as they get wall because of the occlusion angle. Hope you noticed that two-story atrium above the grand hall actually shows the fountain below. Same is true. There is a balcony you can get to on a platform by the stairs that lead second story balcony outside over back patio. And it does look a little bit different at night. In particular, quite a bit of phase room. Very light.
He's fairy light. Don't bother knocking when the fairy light.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Any questions?
With 10 minutes to spare.
Yeah, that's not exactly the way I had planned for this to go. I expected a few hiccups and a couple things, but I was planning on setting some plot hooks.
Sure.
Is there any question about what's going on in the house? And in case you hadn't picked up on this, this is a full-fledged encounter map. So there might be an encounter here.
So we're gonna have a what was that? Batman Begins, fight in the. Or I don't remember what one that was. Where it was there was a fight in the Wayne Manor.
That was the one with Ra's al Ghul, wasn't it?
Yeah, that might have been.
That'd have been the first one, I think. The first of the Christian Bale one.
Right.
So does this mansion have a name?
I was calling it the Silver Confederates Estate or the Confederate Mansion. The party doesn't have a name, so you haven't named your adventuring group yet.
Well, we could come up with a name so we don't live in a house of fucking treason.
Right.
Well, you live in the Confederate Marches. Why it's called that. Silver Marches are a confederation. Capital of. Not all confederations are related to the federation you think of.
Sounds secesh to me. I was thinking like, I'm not saying we use this, but I'm thinking, like Downton Abbey. That's what it was called. Didn't matter who owned it. It was called Downton Abbey. And then they had in the show, they had a bunch of other, they would mention them from time to time, somebody else's estate and, the family that's selling it, their name doesn't have anything to do with the name of the mansion.
Well, when you build an estate that lasts 7 generations handed down from, that's usually when it gets that.
No, I think when they build it, it's called Downton Abbey because there was a abbey there or something, and I don't know what the Downton part was, but the rest of them aren't called abbeys. The rest of them are called manors or something like that. But I don't know. Just a thought.
Did it belong to the church at one point, and that's why it's called?
Well, there's a lot of places in England when they had the dissolution of the monastery. All of that property was given to the crown, and then the crown gave it back out or sold it to various noble families, and then they used the property for their own uses, right? I mean, build houses on it or whatever. But you find a lot of things that have that name, like Abbey or I don't know, some of the other terms that they used for religious buildings that don't have any religious function now because somebody bought the property. The church is, fallen into disrepair or whatever. I don't know. Just a thought. We could kick that around.
Well, want to give it a name? We can rename it. You can have a naming.
The Phase Palace.
You can have a naming ceremony and invite the well-to-do of Silvery Moon to come by and feed them wine and dedication or whatever.
Well, usually those names are like when you buy the manor, it's already there, and then you just continue on that. Either add or detract from the tradition, reputation that the manor house and lands had. Anyway, too much time about that.
All right. Well, we just have a few minutes left here.
Did I miss in the first part where I was gone what the history of this place is?
No, it was mentioned briefly. Left town and race. Hear it.
How long's it been vacant?
It's not been vacant that long, but you guys couldn't move in right away because you did some modeling.
Oh, okay.
Part
So
of
it wasn't like
Ray has no idea why.
that guy from the old order that got ran out 50 years ago or something.
Now this is more of
Yep.
a
Yep.
But we're not worried about somebody coming back and creeping around.
no. This the staff is loyal.
We own it outright.
You own the place.
Okay. Oh.
All right. Well, do you want to say goodbye to our wonderful viewers next week? Much more plot oriented, I guarantee it. Next time.
Thanks, viewers. You have the patience of a saint.